what day or what birthday it was, bought me the at the time current champion pack.
So you must have gotten into it before I did, because I don't think I was there for champion packs.
Yeah, I played. I think not like at the very first. I think I was at 2 to 5, something like that, around that region of League.
I think I was getting into League during season 2,
I'm
because
trying
I
to think.
remember a lot of League content talking about the jungle changes,
I
which
remember
which
the jungle
happened
existed.
which happened for the first time after season 1, and it was like the talk of the town, and I had no idea what that meant.
It's wild how the jungle changes happen every season now.
They do,
Usually twice a season.
which is crazy. Because when I
Yeah.
started, the jungle role was a suggestion.
I'm trying to think when I joined. I have no idea.
This is just the nuttiest
I
fucking.
think it was probably actually season 1, because I'm pretty sure
It might have
me and
been.
you both started up around the same time.
Oh, and one
Yeah.
time I went to
I forgot about that I played a lot with you too.
Wait, hold on.
It was a
You'll
nightmare for
appreciate
that
this.
too.
Hold on. I have a fun tidbit, Theo. One time I went to Aaron Elliott's house to play D&D with him and some friends I knew well in high school, but have since fallen out of touch with. And he was playing a game of League, and he made us all wait for like a half hour, just like sitting in his living room while he played League.
That's so sick.
I think that was
Man, I still miss playing D&D in
through Aaron
person.
Elliott was the first time I met Theo in real life.
Yeah.
Because there was that one time where Aaron was like, I'm going to DM a party, and Theo's going to DM a second party that's hunting my party.
Oh yeah, that freaking game.
And then I had to like create a game just based off like
Whatever
two
Aaron did.
tidbits of information I got from Aaron.
So you were part of the hero group, Lumpy.
Game based off of
Yeah.
faith alone.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
it
was
was.
such a freaking nightmare. And of course,
Yeah,
Theo,
were
do you remember
you-
the kid who
were
was the
you
power
involved?
gamer?
Oh, I remember him. I
Yeah.
remember
When he
that
turned
guy.
into a tiger, and then you had all the guards just pile nets on him.
I met that guy once, and he has sat in my memory for 10 years. Were you part of that whole debacle, Mitchell?
Yep.
I had no idea. Were you
My
in
favorite part of
I
this is you guys
played a.
You
what
guys
was
are
he?
talking about this, and somehow I know about this, even though I wasn't involved with it at all.
Yeah, it was not. It was so bad.
It's like a neat concept, but
It's a
you
neat
know.
concept, but you need to freaking have both DMs on the same goddamn wavelength the entire time, and
Aaron's
that
not
was
a,
not
that's
going to
really
happen
easy to
with our
do.
groups.
Aaron's not a
Or-
wavelength kind of guy.
Or you just
Yeah.
have one DM do both parties, and if the party hunting them ever catches up to them, you go, okay, session stop.
Call them
Well-
into the room.
Well, I think
Requires
It's time to
way
rumble,
more
guys.
Working together than. I also I don't think I was ever told what the world was like, so I was just like, all right, there's a ship here. You guys are. I'd been like reading about like I forget what they're called, but like it was my marine biology days, so I was reading about like there were like sea.
I meant seaweed. I know.
Yeah,
The
I
seaweed
forget what they're
mats?
called. Yeah, like sargassos or something. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, fuck it. There's a sargasso. You guys can chill on that for now.
Yep.
Crabs? I like crabs. Alright, here's a crab.
Yeah. So I remember trying to find a goddamn vampire vampires in 3.5 were nightmares. I still love that we had a vampire in the good party.
I know, that was me. That was me, Mitchell.
They were a nightmare to try and freaking find.
I was a dwarf monk who, for some reason, Aaron let me be a vampire. Like, we met one, and I was like, can I convince this
Always
guy
a
to
bad
bite me? And
idea.
Aaron's like, sure.
It's always a bad idea. It freaking entirely annihilates party level cap.
I know, it was bonkers.
Because we
I
had,
had
what
no
was
idea
it?
you were part of that, Mitchell. So I think I met you then in real life.
Probably. You've met my sister too.
I've met your sister? You have a sister?
You know
I
that?
have two.
How do you not know he has a sister?
I never asked.
What the fuck?
Yep.
Usually
That
that's
was
the
actually
first thing
one
I
of the
ask, I
few
know.
games I was able to convince her to come back and play D&D in. Because she played originally with me in... I know. Well,
You
because she
should
originally played D20 Future with me with my old group.
be future?
Yeah.
That's a
It's a
system I
bad
haven't
system.
heard of.
It's
Yeah,
so bad.
Is it the
I
same
got
as
rid of the
D-
books, it's that bad.
Is it
Like,
the same
I
as
couldn't freaking
D20?
get over
Damn.
it being that bad.
Well, I don't even know what the system was. I just know of it by reputation.
It's
Mitchell throwing
3.5
out
with
books?
a
Holy
bad
shit.
system built on. You know what the classes are? Strength,
No.
Dex, Con, Intelligence, Wisdom, and Charisma.
Those
Literally, there are no classes. You have to go into prestige classes
Funny.
before you actually get a name.
So, what are you? Oh, I'm a rager. What are you? I'm strength. What?
Yep, I'm a strength
What the
hero.
fuck?
It was so bad. I guess it wasn't bad. It was just they took 3.5 and went, "What if we gave them guns?" And then tried to build a game around that, and it failed so freaking hard.
I mean, on a premise
it
level,
was so boring.
on a premise level is not bad.
No,
As
on a
far as
premise level, it's fine. Just it did not work mechanically.
How did it
There were
work?
cool moments. I did enjoy that game, but that was because the DM had been running games for freaking like almost 2 decades at that
I'm
point.
back.
It was good.
Mm.
That's how my sister got into playing, was playing our medic. Then got offed by Robert Ender.
You mean your wisdom class?
Yeah, but she was a medic.
No, she was a wisdom class, Mitchell.
No,
Didn't
she
you-
took the medic subclass or prestige.
Oh, my bad.
Just like I took the. Did I take the fighter pilot? I took the fighter at the very least. There was some sort of pilot pilot prestige class. Wow.
Cool.
Prestige classes.
I
I
miss
know.
them.
Things that don't exist anymore.
I actually do miss them. They were one of, they
Yeah,
were,
because they were freaking a nice way to go and have this is the base class, and then you can split off to smaller classes, and you don't just get it.
yeah.
You have to work for it a little.
I mean, I do like the customization in 5e within the base classes, but I also wish there were prestige classes that you could be creative about how you.
It would be nice if they had some sort of like built on like a secondary subclass or something along those lines that could act as a prestige type of class.
These
Wow.
classes are sick.
It's like the icon.
I feel like they went away from that though once they started putting in like the subclasses.
Well, they simplified it. That's what they did.
I guess so, but what I liked about prestige classes is you could get creative about how you got the prereqs.
Mm-hmm.
They changed archetypes into subtypes and built them into the class.
Because they simplified 5e, like, in comparison to 3.5, a ton. Which is not, it's not a bad thing, but it is an aspect of 5e that I sometimes get frustrated with.
It would
Because
be funny.
I'm not able to do what I want to do because I only have A, B, and C to choose from. True, they're adding D, E, etc., but it would be nice to have them ahead of time.
Yeah, because
I'll
that is
say-
one thing.
I'm
Yeah.
glad that it
Something I
introduces
like
new people
about-
to the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck
I'll-
you, Jake. I'm interrupting.
Damn, blown the fuck out.
Beep beep.
Sorry, go right ahead.
I like how he said sorry and then plowed ahead like he was going to stop.
And then
He
said,
went,
sorry
I
"Yeah, sorry for
genuinely
interrupting you,
forgot
but
what I was
fuck
going to
you.
say.
Like I like 5e,
I'm sorry.
but in some ways
Really.
there's a reason why I'm building my own game.
I would love to play that, by the way, or like play test it or what have you.
I'm still freaking trying to figure out classes and stuff and getting it working. Considering
No
it's gone
worries.
through, I think, 3 different kind of conceptual phases so far. And the one I'm on now, I think, makes the most sense, but I need to actually, like, build it out. And the hardest
Don't worry,
part
you've
is,
got
how the
5
hell
more to
do I
go.
build freaking... I guess it's just trying to think or find another game that does flying well, because I want flying and vertical movement to be a very central part of it. It's going to be hard. It's not many more games do vertical movement well.
I'm still saying that we should make like a MOBA that's 3D in fighter planes, and you can start at opposite corners of a cube.
Mm. I'm down for
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
fucking sick.
No, if you write that down and explain that somehow even better, maybe.
Yeah, there's one lane that goes down the middle, and then 4 more along each pair of edges. 5 lanes.
Yeah, I can see that.
Weird, because like a
Hmm.
lane would be exceedingly big, because like.
I think you
airplanes are
might want to do it
fast.
vertically. Do it like Ender's Game type of thing.
Hmm.
Oh,
Not
like, the
exactly,
lanes are
but
like
that sort of
different
thing.
altitude zones. Is that what you're saying,
Me or Mitchell?
Mitchell? So like you have to, if you want to be in top lane, you have to climb up to 5,000 feet.
I mean, I can see that working. Not quite what I was thinking, but I can see it working that way fairly well.
In the first 2 minutes of the match, climbing up the top lane, Pog.
That could actually be kind of interesting. You get to bottom lane really, really fast, but it takes you a little while to get to top lane. So, like, you'd have to be able to teleport or something like that.
Bottom lane is just always ganked. 'Cause it's
Well, I
just
mean,
hella
yeah.
easy to get there.
Yeah.
Well, bottom lane's gonna be getting ganked as well
Maybe you'd
because
have
you
to make-
you fucking go from top lane, you get a speed boost
Okay, so
Yeah.
for
because you're
balance,
working with gravity.
okay,
Because
so
I'd
for
either
balance
say you'd have to
reasons-
make bottom lane longer than top lane, or you'd have to set up top lane in a different, like, setup to
Right.
make it
Give
so that you
top
can
lane
do
like
it.
less turrets or some shit.
Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to do it somehow that made it so that even though it takes longer to get there, you
Mhm.
know.
So one option
Um,
is put it in space, so you don't have to worry about.
You'd want to put it in space, yeah.
Yeah, and then you could have like a whole sub part of the game, which is customizing your ship.
I think you should go with Homeworlds. Grab some
Homeworlds?
of their stuff.
God,
Such
Homeworld's
as
fucking
ramming.
sick.
It changes dogfighting like.
Or
Oh
shit.
yeah. I think with space you either have to do it would be better to go all the way to simulation or do it kind of as the arcadey type of version.
If we
where
keep it in
Space
atmosphere,
does not space only kind of is space.
then
Or you could just
Yeah.
not worry as much about realism.
Yeah, well that would
Also,
be the case, would be the more arcadey version of don't worry about realism as heavily.
Well, the ideal would probably be no gravity, but still atmospheric. So you're still working with normal, like plane controls, and how that shit works. But you don't have to worry about gravity and what that brings to the party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because fighters in sci-fi games are weird.
the other thing about space MOBAs is there's already
Like
a
Everspace.
couple of them out there.
Are you saying stuff like Dreadnought or something else? Yeah, I guess.
Fuck, I haven't played Dreadnought in a while.
Nor have I. I was looking through my game list and noted it. I was like, I remember that game.
I wonder if it's changed.
Probably. That or it's been abandoned. It's dead. But who knows?
Let's see.
I'd have to check.
Well, they still have updates apparently.
Dreadnought.
They had an XP and credit boost weekend on May 28th. So,
It's a sci-fi kind of MOBA where you pilot a massive capital ship. Although I guess they do have different ones. They have stuff like battleships and they have smaller.
destroyers and
know,
cruisers, I
Corvettes.
believe.
Yeah.
I think I played a medic ship.
It was good.
I think I played a cruiser.
Good.
I can't remember what I played. Probably a Dreadnought or something. I don't remember. Something tough that I wouldn't have to bother dodging, because controlling ships in that game was sometimes a nightmare.
Well, I do
Mhm.
think that regardless, you'd want the starting locations to be on the same like plane, altitude wise, or like height in the arena wise. So you'd want to like balance the cube on a corner more or less, so that the two diagonal corners are of the same height.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You'd probably also have to increase the number of players slightly
Mhm.
if you're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
have 4 lanes. Well,
5
5
lanes.
lanes,
Well,
including
yeah,
the
you'd
center.
have 5, because you'd have top, bottom, left, right,
So you'd
and center.
probably boost it to 8, maybe? I think 5 would be too... Well, 5 is definitely too few.
5 is
Mhm.
one person for each lane, not nearly dynamic enough. So
I
maybe
think probably 7 to 8 would probably make the most sense.
yeah, 7 to 8. And you
1
could
to 2
flip
players to kind of
Oh.
travel between the lanes, and then
Those are
Or
squad
Seven would-
battle
partner up.
numbers.
Yeah, so I would keep it about the same as what League in effect, because you'd have one person for each lane, and then you'd have a support for center, which in this case would probably be the equivalent to bottom, and then you'd have a roamer. And then 8 would be you add an additional roamer.
Mm,
The jungle airplane.
Yeah.
Well, no, you could have like debris.
mhm. I mean, yeah, you throw in monsters or automated drones or something, and there you go. You have a jungle.
Yeah. And if the game lasts too long, there's an event that triggers where aliens from outside the ring kill everyone.
I actually like
Have it
one
to
of the
where
games I
over-
played. Go ahead.
I was gonna say have it to where over the course of the match, to introduce a artificial time limit if you want one. You just have it to where from the start of the match, AI that are against both teams slowly trickle in, and that just increases over the course of the match until if it goes long enough, it's no longer who can kill the enemy's base first; it's who can defend their own base longer.
Not quite that kind of thing, but like even in League, jungle monster toughness, gold gain, experience gain ramps up over the course of the game. More
Mhm.
cannon minions spawn in waves
Yeah.
over the course of the game. So it like ups the XP and gold trickle available on the map.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. But there's a game that I guess it was made by EA technically, called Dawn Guard? No.
I played Dawn Guard briefly.
Is it Dawn Guard?
Yeah, Dawn Gate, Dawn Guard.
Dawn Gate, I think, is actually
Dawn
what it
Gate.
is.
Yeah. That's the one where
Yeah,
like
because
in the
people are
jungle,
coming
there were
back.
in the jungle there were little
Dawn Gate.
markets that
Yeah.
that little minions
There's that in
spawned and
Dota too,
sold things
technically.
at.
But the main thing is your base defend itself too.
No, I mean like there were actually little like plazas in the jungle where little AI creatures walked around different market stalls, buying and selling things, and you could capture those, and they would, if you held them, they would give gold to your team passively.
I don't remember that, but it has been a long while.
Or maybe it was
But
just one.
people are bringing it back because some people decided to, well, that they liked it and were kind of pissed that EA went no.
There was a Yumi character in Dawn Gate. She was a key that she plugged herself into the different champions by plunging herself through their chests. And the key
Yeah.
would jump from character to character.
I think the reason that I liked Dawn Gate so much more than League is because I wasn't kind of stuck to a single archetype. Like I wasn't having to jump in and be like, I'm gonna be this, and I'm kind of stuck to whatever lane that champion is based in. It's
One
just
of
like,
the-
what do I feel like playing today? Oh, I feel like playing a top lane. I can pick any of the champions I have, because any of them can play top lane.
One of the characters threw money. Her
Yep.
her auto attacks actually subtracted gold from your inventory, and she could throw different denominations for like more damage.
There's actually a spell like that Mage Hand Press added.
Really,
You can throw money and it hurts people.
like catapult, but for coins.
Yeah. I don't think it's as strong as Catapult. It's something, I think it deals significantly less damage, but
But then why take it?
because
Is it
I don't remember. I'd have to check. While I'm doing that, have you guys thought of things?
No.
Yeah.
It's been so long.
Funny
Which
enough,
means you guys have lots of time to think of.
I was like, oh, I should think of this, and then we started talking about fucking fighter game, and I was like, oh, this is way more interesting.
I kind of want to try out Dreadnought though. It looks sick.
I mean,
I
it's
mean, I'm
free,
already
I'm pretty
downloading
sure.
it. It is free.
Maybe sometime, Peyton, you and I should play some Dreadnought. Everyone
Alright.
else is invited as well, of course.
Everyone else, fuck off.
It's just for me and Peyton.
Yep.
Not last played in 2018.
Yep.
I should have checked my
Orbital
last play before I
hardware
started
black.
downloading, because now it says my last play was today. God damn it.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking, fuck.
Um.
Yeah, last played November 10th,
Oh
2018.
yeah, Jake, do you happen to be free a week from tomorrow?
I meant to respond to that. No, I am free, but I'm in way too many D&D games to even sign up as a guest for one.
Gotcha. Okay.
Alright, boys, session pushed back again.
No,
Yes.
no, no.
All I'm trying to ever do at this point is keep at least Fridays clear.
Fair
Mhm.
enough.
Because as it currently stands, I have Fridays and Wednesdays that I don't have D&D, and I'll be real, it's too much. But
I'm definitely in too many as well. So as the games I'm in peter out, I will be probably not joining more.
likewise,
Actually-
unless with the exception of, well, I don't know. It depends on what I.
You know, I
'cause
say
I
that.
don't care
but-
about. I don't care about weekday games.
Yeah, like I
But,
say
like-
that, but also my work year ends in 2 weeks, so it's like I will
But, like-
probably be much more free.
Mhm.
The worst offender of it is Chase's game. I didn't. I joined that because he's like, I'm gonna aim for having it on like Wednesday, and he's like, hey, it's on Saturdays, and I'm like, shoot me. I fucking hate Saturday night D&D. It's the worst.
I've been doing that for literally years now.
Fucking same.
Well, yeah.
I do not like it.
Yeah.
I like having the option of like being free at. Okay, that was well, whatever.
I think it's just I work a lot during the weekend or weekdays, so
Well, yeah, no, I get why you would run there. I just
yeah. It's the one day a week that I'm just like, no, mine, go away. This is when I do fun things. I don't want to do other things.
no, and I'm not saying that like D&D isn't fun if it's on like a Saturday night. It's still always
Nah,
fun. But
for-
I like
Specific for me, I mean, that's just the case.
I just like having the ability to like hang out with people instead. Oh, that should have hit me.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm playing Toho.
Yep.
So what's OP about Toho? It's I can talk and play it at the same time. And I can pay attention and play it at the same time, and I can get mad.
Alright, well, I got mine.
I had mine, but I was denied it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny just said no.
Mm.
Well, that one's fine with me. Can't tell if that's a good spell or a bad spell. It's a second level transmutation in chronomancy. It's literally just you give a person another action.
What, you trade your action for their action effectively?
Pretty much.
Or I guess it'd be the opposite. You're trading.
No, you
Yeah,
use your
no, yeah,
action
no,
to
that checks
cast,
out.
and then they
Yeah.
get another action. You
I feel
basically
like that.
haste them for one turn, is what it looks like.
I feel like that could be a good spell if you have someone who's like fucking giga buffed.
Yeah.
I
So
think
that
that
action
spell
can
is
only be used to take an attack, one weapon attack only, dash,
Oh.
disengage, hide, or use an object. It's
Oh,
basically haste
never
minus.
mind.
Oh yeah, no,
If that
actually.
just gave an extra action, I'd think that would be the most like turbo broken spell of all time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
But
it's not.
if it's like a shitty action, then no, I don't know why anyone would ever use it.
Yeah.
There's
Trading an
probably
action is never worth
something
it. There.
chronomancy might be able to buff it somehow, but considering otherwise, that does look kind of junk.
1 minute.
I've been having a lot of fun looking for homebrew spells lately and other various homebrew things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you weren't
And-
here, but Lumpy thought up an absolutely horrendous freaking campaign setting that will only be bad and
Yeah.
hilarious at the same time.
I bet.
Lumpy, do you want to tell him about your everything homebrew idea?
What?
Oh, wait, can you not use any official like material?
Yeah, you have to use
It's
homebrew
worse than
classes
that.
you make.
Oh, that'd be
Oh
fun.
my fucking
I'd be able
god.
to use the Swordmaster class I'm working on.
Yeah.
What? Huh? How the fuck did that happen?
What?
The Elven short sword just threw into chat. And I don't know how that happened because I don't have my character sheet open
The
and I
Elemental is
didn't
each other's
hit my
character sheet.
mouse.
I don't know.
Did someone else do that?
It's entirely possible. Wasn't me though. I'm shooting people,
You can check the recording. Wasn't me.
which means it was Mitchell or Bumpy.
Lumpy.
I'm back. What's going on?
Bumpy was AFK. It was Mitchell.
Yeah, exactly.
Confirmed. I
Watch
figured
this.
it out.
It's gone.
Oh my god, he deleted the
My
evidence.
god.
But no, I would absolutely love to play in a thing where it's like you have to make your own class and race, I'm assuming? Or
Mm,
race is good.
I don't know. Lumpy did not go into it.
I
Or-
think it'd be
no.
cool. Yeah.
Ideal, I got a better idea. Everyone everyone makes their own class and it goes into a pool and you roll a d20 for drafting order.
I think I'd
Mitchell
rather
mode.
kill myself than do that.
The Mitchell approach.
That's not mine. I borrowed
I'll
that.
be back.
And I'm still not freaking convinced it works.
I
mean,
think it works
I'm
great.
not either.
I don't know.
I mean, it seemed
I feel
Like,
like
honestly-
the way we rolled the stats was just horrible for it, I think. Because
I
like there
think
were
it
two
needs
there were
to be
two
helped.
decent ones. And then there were like 15,000 14s for no reason. And so it
And
was
then
like, I'll pick a
great.
14. I'll pick a 14. I'll pick a 14. I'll pick a 14. It's like, all right, enough with the fucking 14s.
but also
I think if I
Theo's
was
like,
to do that again, I would probably have it where as you're going around, you have to pick a high, and then the next roll or the next pick, you have to pick a low and kind of go
Or you-
back and forth.
What you should have done is you just
We
should have made
also
it a
had-
snake draft.
we also
Mhm.
had a Theo in the mix who was like, I want to take the bad numbers.
What is snake draft?
Like you go, I'm pick 1, then it would go like pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, and then whoever got pick 4 would start the next round.
Hmm.
1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yes.
4, 3, 2, 1.
If you're ever doing a drafting thing, snake draft makes it much more balanced.
Hmm.
Because otherwise first pick is just super broken. And it's like, you get last pick, you're just like, well, guess I'm depressed. Whereas if you get snake draft, you're like, alright, I'm not going to get the best, like, first option, but I'm going to get, like, number 4 and 5, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get first, you're like, okay, I get the best option, and then the 8th best option if you're just drafting for, like, the highest possible stats, you know? Snake
Yeah.
draft is ultimate strategy.
But yeah,
So
the-
I just I just found a power word that's worse than power word kill.
No, that's
Power
hard.
word
Power word
shit.
kills.
Bill.
Power word
kills the ninth level
annihilate.
spell.
Power word shit.
You
yourself.
utter a word of extreme and terrible power that can completely destroy one creature, object of a creation of magical force you can see within range. If the creature or object you choose has 150 hit points or fewer, it dies or is destroyed. When killed by this spell, a creature and everything it is wearing and carrying, except magical items, are reduced to a pile of fine gray dust. This creature can be restored to life only by the means of true resurrection or a wish. So basically, it's freaking disintegrate power word.
I don't like that spell. I'll be real. Mostly because I don't understand why you would ever make it, because Power Word Kill already exists. And that's just like a better version of it. And Power Word Kill is a 9th level spell, so like
Yeah.
you don't
What
have
they
the power
didn't tell
budget to do
you about 11th level spells.
that is one of my favorite thumbnails I've ever seen in my life, man. That
I
shit's
think
so
that
fun.
Annihilate also can destroy objects is the
Fucking-
difference.
Yeah,
Where
but
you
okay,
can
so
never
so it
power word
gets
kill.
more utility and it is also better.
Yeah.
So that's just bad design.
Well, in 3.5 there were a ton of power words, weren't there?
Mhm. They added a
Power-
bunch in this little book now.
Oh,
But
power
like there
words.
shouldn't. My point being that
Yeah,
if it's if Power Word Kill is like an 8th level spell, then sure, yeah, make the 9th level one much better.
Yeah, but it's already 9th level.
I think it's because the freaking power words are always kind of weird.
Have you noticed, by the way, that there's
Adding
no
them.
like in base 5e, there's like no like giant fuck you laser beam spell.
Yep.
Disintegrate?
No,
That
I
is
want a
the
gi-
one, I think.
but that's
And it's
not a
not
giant.
really
fuck,
all bad.
That's not a giant fuck you laser beam. That's like a fuck you in particular kind of attack. You know,
You know what spell I miss? I miss Finger of Death.
Finger of Death is in 5e.
I still miss it. When was the last time you saw it?
I give it to every necromancer.
I've never seen one use it.
Well, yeah, I didn't want to. You guys were like level 5 the last time you fought a necromancer. I didn't want you to get Finger of Death
Well,
in one shot.
Exactly. How often do we get that high level? And then when we do, how often is a necromancer in play? Not very often.
Well, we'll be in this campaign at least.
I don't
Yep.
know what you mean.
But it's okay, because I found a homebrew spell the other day that is a giant fuck you laser. Mostly because I was curious. I was like, I wonder if there's any Toho D&D stuff, and there is.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, this has the orbital hard light cannon,
Mhm.
which is just a giant laser beam.
See, I like giant laser beams.
Yeah.
I found the
20d10
9th level spell.
radiant damage for a 9th level spell.
Yeah, the giant laser beam I found is
Even worse, I'm hoping.
it does 21d6 plus 60 force damage.
Okay.
I buffed it.
Good.
That's a 9th level spell. It should be stronger. Except I buffed it in a funny way. I buffed it in the fact that I said when you cast it, you can choose to use more than one spell slot to cast it, and it gets stronger per level of spell that you spend on it. For like a d6 per spell level. So if you use a 2nd level slot, that's 2 additional d6. And so you can theoretically just blow all your spell slots at once to try to one-tap anyone you encounter. Mostly because I've always liked the idea of that, where you just blow everything in one go.
It's one big hit.
Yeah.
Why is it I can't find these coins? I'm very
No, I
sad
did-
can't find it.
I did have to only like partial buff it
Hmm.
because it's a concentration spell that lasts like 1 round.
Hmm.
So it was like I was like it only buffs the initial damage for the extra spell slots you expend. Because it seemed a little wild that if you were level 20 wizard and you used all of the potential spell slots, you could do 101 d6 plus 60 damage, and I didn't want you to be able to do that twice for obvious reasons, I would say.
Mhm.
Yeah. Literally all I said to Mitchell, by the way, about homebrew D&D campaign was that I was
We're
thinking
trying
of
to-
running a D&D campaign where everyone could only play a class they made themselves.
Yeah, that's what Mitchell let me know. You said
Yeah, and I'm
Which,
down to
that-
also say races. By the way,
races would be so much harder. I think.
that would be tough.
Mhm.
So I don't know what that one, but like,
There's good reason why the Canu are very, very similar to their standard counterparts.
I feel
They're
like
just
races is
slight.
kind of straightforward from like a mechanic perspective because it's like
Yeah,
a couple
mechanically it's fine,
stats. Oh yeah,
but like designing one, that's tough.
yeah, true.
And I, of course, set for for the game that I want to make. Throw out literally every D&D race because I said no, I want my own, and then made 2 worlds with 5 races each. So I'm a madman.
Yeah, you are.
Well, what? I had 5 races plus 3 for kind of the neutral races.
Scary.
And then I have opportunities to build at least 2 others for their individual worlds and many, many others for if I want to add more to the Rift. Because when you have 2 gods die, weird stuff happens.
Okay, thank you.
Because in that world, basically, 2 gods punched each other to death. And turns out 2 gods suffering their death throes does not do good things to worlds.
In Elder
Yeah.
Scrolls lore, one god ate another god and then shat him out.
In this case, the gods were at relatively equal levels because of how that kind of universe works. Kind of funny that INA
Well-
actually has a greater has a greater universe to work
Do-
with.
Do you want me to tell you the creation story of the orcs in Skyrim? There was
I
an
am
elven,
curious. Yeah,
there was-
sure.
there's an elven warrior god named Trinimac, who was big and powerful. And then the Daedric prince Boethia was like,
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Trinimac is a bitch. Fuck Trinimac. Showed up in the town square, ate Trinimac, shat him out, and Trinimac's now in his shat out form, he's Malakath. And Trinimac's former followers were so distraught that they grabbed the rest of the dung that was shat out with Malakath and smeared it on themselves, thus becoming orcs.
What the fuck did I come back to?
That is Elder Scrolls lore. The creation of the orcs.
Great. Of course it is.
Thank you, Bethesda Game Studios, for that gem.
It's not God creation if it's not something.
Ugh.
Why? All right. I can't find the spell. That's okay.
Which one were you looking for?
One that you throw coins. I know I found it at some point and I can't find it. So I'll probably scroll through this and eventually just stumble across it.
Well, once you find it, you won't know that you were looking for it.
Yeah, but I'll remember that I was looking for it at some point. Because I'll
And then
just
you won't be able to
stumble
find it.
across
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
you'll
So
find
I'll
it.
have to go and try and show. Like, hey, look.
That's how this works.
All right. Show. Need to add all things to the character information.
My hand. Where's my hand?
Still don't know, have any idea why for my outline I can get Oyeko, I can get Gube, and I can get Mo. But for whatever reason, it refuses to add Johnny to the list. And I have no idea why.
To the list of what?
To the character information. Why the heck are things randomly just... Why are Johnny's things?
Well, you see, he's not a good guy. So he doesn't.
Why
go
is
in
he
the-
censored?
He's... What do you mean censored?
He has words that are not words. They're just a series of asterisks.
Oh, I did use a swear word in there. That most recent message.
Yeah,
So
but it's
maybe
not the most recent one. It's like a few back. Why are people messing with my freaking file?
I don't know. Oh, actually, hold on. So in the character information thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when Johnny traded away some of his memories, I edited
Oh.
out parts that were relevant to them.
Hmm.
So those are like no longer part of him.
And all right. Is everyone back at this point? I
I'm
believe
here.
so.
Yeah.
Hello.
So as formerly mentioned, do not expect much from Jake or Oyeko at the start of this session.
I think I fucked up my wrist.
Hmm. All right. I think I have them all. Well, I mean, the only ones I had to add were the echoes and Moe's. You guys do that. Do your own.
Ah,
All
right. I normally do my own. My bad.
All right. So, do you guys remember what was going on when we
Yes, we were
last
trying to
ages ago?
figure out anything. And we were doing very badly at it.
Well, you
And
guys
I'm
had
sure time has
beaten
improved.
the apparently the first Watcher. So there are apparently more.
Mm-hmm.
Was Halvan Snake?
Yeah, I mean, it
Yeah,
ended up
apparently it was
being
Halvan Snake.
apparently Halvan Snake.
Just
Which,
reminding me
gotta
that
admit, was a twist. Did not expect that.
did not see that at all. Although in retrospect, didn't the animal or whatever say that a snake attacked that house that we were investigating?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So nice job, Mitchell, planting that seed.
Turns out that goat had true sight the whole fucking time.
Fuck. We gotta go back and get those goats.
You go
Of
back,
course.
their eyes were glowing. We see everything.
You know how goats have weird eyes?
I'm telling you though, if it
True,
was a
goats
goat
do
that
have fucking cursed eyes.
if it was a
They do.
magical goat, Oyeko would not want it. The hell did that goat sacrifice?
You. Like it
In
just
this
blows
case-
away in the wind.
Oh yeah, go cool with demons, not with goats.
You know how most people
But
sacrifice
demons don't
goats?
sacrifice shit.
Maybe goats don't.
That's true.
Yeah, they're
a
born with
race.
those
Demons-
fucking
some-
cursed beady
Oh
little
yeah, no.
eyes.
Demons don't sacrifice, but that's because demons are basically purely magical creatures. So, and
Right.
hard to sacrifice when you are magic.
Yeah, it would be like saying you don't
Because
sacrifice.
magic is a strictly mortal thing.
right.
Like that, the sacrifice is a strictly mortal thing.
I
Animals
don't-
are weird in
Mhm.
that they are sometimes magical creatures, but usually that's because magic is like forced on them by, well, a wizard or
Like
sorcerer.
I don't. The way I think about it is, I don't sacrifice in order to be made of flesh and bone. I
Mhm.
just am that way. And
Exactly.
so a demon doesn't sacrifice
Yeah,
to be.
keep
made
in
of
mind that there are exceptions to that rule, as, for instance, not the uncreated, frickin' heck, the reformed do have to, of course, sacrifice.
the reformed.
Yeah, the skeleton,
Oh.
but that's due to basically, well, congratulations, you're back in the land of the living. I'll take the payment for that now. I know you didn't ask for it, but the boat ride did cost me something.
Just to cover travel expenses.
So, yep. You guys were traveling back to the city, and I believe that's...
I think we were in the city.
Yeah, I believe you guys had just arrived, effectively, and we're trying to think...
No, we
what the
were
hell
there
you're
for a
supposed to
bit
be
because we
doing.
definitely backtracked a little bit, at least mentally, after getting there.
I'm trying to think, did you guys make it back?
I thought we were back in the city. Maybe I'm crazy.
I don't
I-
remember,
I
but it doesn't... You guys would have traveled back and are now in the city either way, so...
All right.
I don't think you guys have really done anything anyway, so...
Oh no, we definitely haven't like done anything relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Note the
So-
word relevant there.
Yeah, because you guys are still waiting on the Raven to return.
I'm waiting on the Raven to return, and we're also trying to think of anything
I
intelligent at all.
I did think of something that I don't think ever asked,
This Heath is
Okay.
which seems like a pretty obvious thing to ask. Why the fuck did the Watcher bring Dickhead all the way here specifically?
Dickhead?
Yeah.
Mo?
No. What? Hello? Did the Watcher carry Mo all the way here?
Didn't
He's
the
talking
Watcher
about Cook.
taunt
Cook.
Mo into the mountains? Oh.
Yeah, no, we're back in town at this point. So why did the Watcher carry Cook across half the fucking continent?
These nightmarish
I
creatures
have
can
bad
be
things.
felled.
Not
They
to
can be
rebug.
beaten.
I now have the ability to ping.
Oh my god.
At least I should have the ability to ping.
Why did the Watcher bring Mo all the way here?
Man, God works in mysterious ways.
I mean, it did
The
kind of do that.
Alarmed.
It's just the monster brought Mo all the way here by dragging you guys across the continent in its
Finding
track.
this stuff is only the first test. Now it must
So
be carried
yeah,
on.
that's what I thought of at least.
Inspiration.
Well, that's a good question,
and
eh?
improvement.
Yeah.
I don't have any answers for it. I just thought of it.
Yeah. So, like,
Uh,
I and Johnny have a tenuous grasp on what is happening, and no grasp at all on why happening.
So I said I don't have any answer. I have a vague idea.
Like a proposed answer.
Yeah, which is we didn't actually know whether or not Cook ended up dying in that fight because we never got around to checking him, and by the time we woke up, he was gone. Or no, he wasn't gone. It's just we hadn't gotten around to checking him, and then we looked towards him, and he was being held by the Watcher, who was at the doorway and was like, "Bye bye."
I think we assume
this-
now that Cook lived that fight.
Yeah, at this point, you guys know Cook is probably alive
Because he
Yeah.
wrote the fucking...
and is apparently now hostile.
So yeah, well, I was actually going to propose the idea that maybe he did in fact die, and that's why the Watcher had to bring his fucking corpse all the way here to get something in the weird undead capital.
So-
Was able to revive him.
But that could have... If that was his goal, he could have done that anywhere in Arathia.
True.
Including at the Necromancer's place that we know he stopped at.
That's also true.
My thought is that there's something about this city that is abjurative in some meaningful way. So maybe
I mean, you guys
it's-
already have noticed that demons don't like this place at all.
So maybe
Yeah, they've
it
got the evil
needed-
thing here watching them, but
There's something that keeps demons out of the city via some method that you guys don't know.
Right. So maybe that keep demon out quality was needed
As the
for some
fiend
reason.
falls,
I mean, it doesn't seem like the demons are particularly friendly with the Watcher.
I'm sort of
Yeah,
having
I think
trouble
that's,
getting the demons, to be honest.
Huh?
I feel like, well, isn't the Watcher also a demon? So like, surely they're a
No, the Watcher is.
It is a purely magical creature. However, it is
Oh.
not by any means a demon.
It's
It
like
is
how
a creature of its own.
all
Okay.
animals are made of flesh and bone, but not all animals are lions.
Demons are a very specific type of magical creature, such as elementals are a very specific type of purely magical creature, but they are not demons.
So we're operating right now under the assumption that no demons are on Watcher side.
At least very few would be, given that
Okay.
it seems like some higher up of the demons are really, really not big fans of the Watcher.
So then that could be an explanation for why it went here of all places.
What? So it could get something.
90% of the reactions you guys have gotten out of demons when reference to the Watcher have been either horror, fear, or dislike.
disdain.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's 90%. I think that's.
time to perform
Actually,
beyond
have all
one's
demons we
limits.
know about the Watcher though?
No.
Yeah. So,
So-
that'd be the other 10%. It's
Yeah,
like,
the,
what?
the ones that you've asked basically have been almost entirely against the Watcher in some shape or like some fashion, whether or not it's just absolute dislike or, well, stay
Yeah.
away from that thing.
So I guess
in
that's
some
where my
cases.
head's at. That it wanted no demons around for some reason, or maybe this city
Success
is
so
demon
clearly
proof
in view.
because of the
Or is
Watcher.
it merely
Not fully
Apex.
demon proof.
Uh,
We didn't
I don't
encounter.
think it-
I encountered.
Yeah,
demons
it's
here.
very heavily demon resistant. It's not demon.
yeah.
Okay.
Also, I don't think the Watcher is what makes it demon proof. I think that it's something about the city itself or something else that's inside of the city that's making it demon resistant. I don't think that's
Also,
something that the Watcher
Can
has.
I ask a question though?
Yeah.
Let's say this theory is correct and that it did come here because this place is demon proof / resistant.
Mhm.
How does that help us figure out where to go next?
Well, if we can figure out what exactly is making it demon proof or demon resistant, then that might give us a clue as to,
We can kill it.
fucking what it's doing next. Or what is being done next.
You kill what? The Watcher?
The
You've done
Watcher's
that
dead.
already.
No, we
Success.
can kill whatever's making it demon resistant.
Excuse me, but Johnny Vanguard will not have you undemon proof my own capital. I hate demons. I'm a
Demons are
big-
better than the king.
Absolutely not.
Believe it or not, it's pretty hard to destroy that particular defense mechanism.
I would imagine it's like some crazy sacrifice made by
I thought it was
someone.
like I thought it was like a creature, to be honest.
I mean, you
Sounds
guys
like
don't
creature
know.
to
The
me.
demons seem to think it's something rather than someone, but that could mean magical effect that really doesn't like them, or it could be some sort of creature, but you don't know.
Fair.
You
fair.
haven't seen it, so.
This whole type of thing is like super out of Johnny Vanguard's wheelhouse, I will say, from the get go.
It's also pretty out of Oyeko's, because seeing as how her strategy for figuring out where to go next is to, quote, see where the feet take me.
Well, I mean, you have a message sent to Halvan, so you have another like 2 or 3 days before that comes back. So you could just chill here for a couple days and see what Halvan thinks.
Honestly, I think that's probably the best bet. Given that, as it stands, we're currently grasping at straws, so maybe it might be better to have someone who isn't grasping at straws help us out.
Well, I want to raise the question of, do we trust Halvan at all?
Yes.
Why?
Why would we
Because
not?
he got fucking murked by the Watcher, even if it was his own snake.
I feel like his snake was either using him, or maybe he's a watched who is like obligated to do
Also, I'm
things
pretty
that are
sure-
in the Watcher's benefit.
I think I've insighted him a few times in the past, and it's never come up with him being off. At least I
I mean-
remember it doing it. Granted, it's been a fucking while.
Because, like, in Johnny's mind, this big thing we've been chasing is something he views as Halvan's pet now. So he's like, surely that means Halvan is coordinating this, because pets serve owners. That's like Johnny's headspace.
Uh-huh.
Oyeko's headspace is that magic is fucked. I was totally right. And it's also
I mean, that's
Watcher
not
things-
a hard
Watcher thing's
conclusion.
kind of weird. Don't really know what to do about that. Hope somebody else can figure that shit out, because I am clueless,
Foolish horrors.
capable of
Oh,
recognizing
and
my
driven
own
into the
shortcomings.
I was just like, we did it, guys. We killed it. We killed the Watcher.
Glittering
That's very far! That's what I'm
Huge job!
The world is safe.
From that one.
There's another one?
You heard a shadow claw clones?
No.
So you guys just gonna wait until the message comes back, or do you have stuff that you'd like to do in particular until then?
Uh,
Let me look at my
I mean,
character sheet.
Oyeko's convinced at this point because she went to talk to that wizard, and he said, "Yeah, it's not something that'll kill you. That this poison will just go away." So
I forgot about your stupid fucking poison.
I didn't.
Fucking idiot.
Nope, still there.
I feel like there was something I needed to have in my inventory that I didn't have recently.
What?
Like I needed something.
Well, think about what happened recently that you could have potentially needed. Climber's kit.
Climber's kit.
Imagine not having a climber's kit.
I'd like to go buy a climber's kit.
I
You
just
could
climb
definitely
everything
do
with
that.
sheer strength.
See, I don't have sheer strength, so I gotta rely on not falling to my fucking death.
I'm good at falling.
I mean, I still have
We're level
paid.
7, right?
Mitchell's gonna be like, "No, we're level 6." Theo's like,
You're
"Huh?"
whatever level your current level
level 7.
number is.
Okay, good.
I mean, I still have money that I threw at the Thieves Guild. So I could go ask them if they know any shit about why this place is demon resistant.
It's true.
You could
Oh,
be.
you know what it actually was? It was a healer's kit. Because Oyeko
Mm.
was down on the ground in front of me, and I had no way of reliably getting her back up but magic. So I'm gonna buy a healer's kit.
I think Oyeko has a healer's kit on her.
Oh, you know what? I'd like to buy some armor.
It is not Johnny's instinct to go rush like going through someone's pockets while they're bleeding out.
Rifling through their pockets as they bleed to death.
Yeah, so he's just gonna pick up one of his own.
Yeah, it's like a capital. If you guys want to buy things, you can buy things.
Yeah. And
With
I want to
luckily,
buy a
the-
capital.
and luckily,
Of course,
in
the exception of, well, two exceptions, I suppose: property and magical items, because both
Can't
of
buy
those
property?
are harder to get.
Damn.
I can't buy.
Well,
Well,
it's
if you
like,
wanna rent
you know how in
property-
Oblivion you have to sometimes like go to the like leader of the city and be like, "Hey, can I buy a house?" And they have to go, "Yes, sure, why not?" Yeah, it's similar here.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get the okay from someone.
We gotta talk to the fucking local ordinance.
And I like how in the items tab
Local
here,
ordinance is basically the
you're-
king here.
if you're thinking of buying
Okay.
something, you can click on it and it shows you how much it costs.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Imagine not just looking up the Roll20 like adventuring gear tab and just
That's what
scrolling.
I just did.
Yep.
Welcome to the real world.
I'm just gonna scroll through this items
Wow.
thing and see.
Other than buying things,
What
are
is
you
that?
doing anything else?
I am going to go ask the Thieves Guild if they know anything about that.
I have something in my pocket called Strange Ring. Set with main red gem in the center with a pair of blue and green gems. The band seems to be made of gold or brass or something not particularly shiny. I don't know if this is magical and I wrote it down because of that, or if I found it in a cave and put it in my pocket and decided to write it down and describe it for some reason. Does it
Well,
look
if I gave
magic?
it a description, it's more than just money stuff.
I'm gonna go get this identified, or detect magic kid, or appraised. It is just a strange ring. It's right above.
Are you getting it appraised or are you getting it detected or identified? I suppose. really.
Detect magic kid first, and if that doesn't pan out, then appraised.
I mean, are you just going to buy like a scroll, or are you going to just see if
I
someone can cast it?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to the Wizards College and see if someone will be willing to detect magic.
All right. Yeah. As long as you're willing to wait, they're willing to do it for like a pittance.
Yeah, sure. Like some fucking student who's
like
working on the
5 gold
cantrips.
type of stuff. Like nothing basically as far as spell work is concerned.
Yeah, well, you know I'm paying 5 gold and a silver because I always overpay.
Wow, really breaking the bank on that one. A whole extra silver?
Hey, it's like a week of food.
Don't pretend that the D&D economy has any sense to it.
Not peasants have to do stuff. It's just your guys' economy is weird. But I mean, the guy casts detect magic on it, and it is not magical. It's just a ring.
All right. Rats. I was really hoping I could scrounge a magic item out of a random ring from probably 10 sessions ago.
You know what I bet it was from?
What?
It was probably from that lockbox that we found near the door mimic.
Probably.
The lockbox that poisoned you?
No. This was a long
The door
time ago.
mimic. Back where you guys were dealing with the ghost.
Oh, maybe.
I mean, I've still got a lockbox plus bullshit. I have no idea what that means. I was like, say crystal found in ghost place. Small red stone. Oh yeah,
Is the
my
crystal
favorite
the
of
same thing as the crystal that Oyeko has?
I don't think so.
I was trying to think of a second crystal. Oh, right. No, because that was the same crystal.
I've got a spooky D8, but I know that's the one that lets me breathe underwater.
Yeah.
Uh,
Spooky.
I've also got in cultist loot a small bag of coins.
Did you open it to see what's in there? Or is it still just a bag with coins?
I think I just wrote it down and then never asked again.
If it probably
As well
came
as-
from cultists, and that's most likely where it came from, it's
Yeah,
probably
it's cultist
something
loot.
like, yeah, it's probably like 50 something. Yeah, we'll say 56 silver coins.
56.
It's nothing
silver. All
silly.
right, I'm gonna
Yeah.
add that in.
Yeah, it's nothing
Uh,
exciting. It's cultists. They don't
There
have
also
a ton of
includes
money.
a gibberish book, a smaller moon amulet, and a ritual dagger.
Well, the ritual dagger is just it's a dagger used for rituals.
Eh,
The moon amulet is what you think it is, and the book I know what that is, but it's still gibberish to you.
Yeah.
It doesn't magically become ungibberished.
mhm.
I
I'm
have
just-
that book written down because I
Oh.
actually have been keeping track of books. But
Nice.
well, yeah, because I want to know who's in the world, what books exist, so that if you guys come across the same author,
I think I have 4 separate amulets on me.
probably.
Oh, shit.
Actually,
Teach
one of them is a medallion.
As for the
Fancy.
ring, if you're immediately planning on selling it, I'll just give you how much they give you. If you want to keep it, then you're gonna have to pony up the appraisal cost.
Oh, I'm definitely planning on selling it.
All right, then. Congratulations, you make 20 gold.
Wait a second. Hold
What?
up.
Huh?
What?
You know what? You know how Mr. Johnny Vanguard himself, the man, the myth, the legend,
Okay.
mentioned how when you click on an item it tells you what the price is, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
So I was like looking up a shield, or just the shield, and then I clicked on arrow catching shield, and you know what that includes? A
Arrows?
price.
Yeah.
What does it include? I want to
It-
see. What is the
includes
what is the price?
6,000.
6,000. I want to see what they're using because the standard books do not have prices. So
And
I'm
that-
gonna see
that's
if
why you
if they're using the
use an
same magical
illusionary.
item.
I was just looking at like kits and stuff.
A +1 shield.
Arrow
is
catching shield
1,000
is
if I
6,000 on say magic item prices.
That must be what they're using. Yeah.
Sick.
Well, that's good to know. So I don't have to check that if I'm looking for magic items.
Stick with it.
Of course, you guys will basically never be buying those sorts of magic items because those shops basically don't exist.
All
I
right,
say
so
basically because there is actually a location where you can buy stuff like that.
20
It's
gold
still
for the set?
ridiculously expensive, but like higher than that already. But Because guess where you can buy magical items?
Oh.
Nowhere.
No, there is one nation that sells magical items on the regular.
The,
Is it the
it's
Sacrifice People Nation?
the
Yes.
fucking it's blood elves, the slavers.
It's the
they-
Sacrifice People Nation.
It's where all health potions come from too. Well,
Mm.
all
Let me
99.9%
share
of them.
with you
Tastes
the
like
terrible wonders I
the
have
blood
come
of
to
I'm
know.
gonna be back
slaves.
like 20ish minutes or so. I have to go help my brother pick up his car from the mechanic, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
I forgot how up a creek we are in this campaign right now.
So were you going to go and ask the Thieves Guild about why the city is apparently demon resistant?
Yeah.
All right. So, are you going to like the same guy to try and
I
set up
mean,
another meeting?
I fucking might as well. I don't know anyone else.
Yeah. So yeah,
Unless I
you're-
want to break into that place and just hope they show up. Which, while
So you're
funny,
able to set up
it's probably
another
not going to
meeting.
work well. Nice.
It is a couple days on, but thankfully the message does not. Well, not thankfully, but the Raven doesn't return. Heath is still flying. You'd assume.
All right.
So you're able to kind of get into a similar position to how you got there before, though this time rather than being quite so, well, cut and dry, they at least allow you to like wander around and not immediately get shanked for doing so.
Well, that's nice.
I mean, they're both have cloaks over their faces and whatnot, so you can't see them anyway. But are you are basically just that, or
Yeah, that's pretty much the only question I have for right now. Do you guys know why this place is so repulsive to Fae, I guess? Resistant to demons? Not Fae, demons?
the two guys this time? They do seem to be a different set, for at least from what kind of, based on their voices anyway. But seem to be kind of a similar setup. One kind of more the thinky kind, and the other the knifey kind. And the one that seems unarmed simply just tells you that it is just how the city is, and has been as long as the king has been in power.
So as long as the king's been in power, it's been this way just naturally?
Well, since the king has become undead anyway. When he became the eternal king, the city became basically empty of demons for the most part. The reasoning is mostly unknown to the populace. I mean, they have theories, of course, being the Thieves Guild, but their theory is, at least the main one, well, there are two, I suppose, they've come up with. Either there's a very powerful demon that's in cahoots with the king that's keeping all the other ones out, or the king has some sort of other type of entity that is keeping the demons out. But they are near certain it's a creature based on what people have said about it.
All right, so
Because
either
while
way,
people don't know precisely what it is, they definitely have seen it. Like, it is
Right.
an actual creature that exists. But it seems to be invisible 99% of the time, unless it's actively hunting.
So the king made a deal with something that keeps Fae out of the city.
Pretty much is their theory, anyway.
All right.
But it is something, or some things. They don't know if it's a single creature or a collection of creatures that are keeping the Fae out.
All right, it is something physical.
Yeah. Well,
Alright.
kind of physical.
But yeah, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's either invisible or incorporeal or some such. It effectively ceases to exist until it's actually, getting in conflict.
Look what I have from session fucking 2.
What?
Isn't that
Probably get rid of that.
isn't that the barkeep's note for who was supposed to unfucking petrify me?
Yes.
Yes.
Funny.
Probably throw that away. At this point, it's not really useful to you.
No, I'm keeping it in case
Nah,
I have like a
That's a party heirloom.
Please
Actually, yeah,
reminds
that
you
might
of
be
who
good for
Alvin
him
is.
to keep,
please ship
given
my,
his memory shenanigans.
ship
Who
my
do we
dead
work for
body
again?
to
Where does he
Hollywood.
live?
Yeah. Hollywood. Right, that's where I'm going. I'm like a lost child. Like, where's my home?
How about in Twin Oaks? That's south, I think. He starts walking into the ocean.
Southeast for sure. So
Alright, well,
I mean, it is
The-
more east than south from where you are
So-
currently.
the faction you made for this campaign paid thus the colonies, right?
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah, I think of the.
What did Jake
What is it? I don't know if Jake made a faction. No, he did. I'm remembering it. He made the 10 followers.
10 followers. I'm
Mhm.
forgetting who those are.
They're the people
they're
that
the who worship
are
the moons.
Twin Oaks.
Oh,
They're the moon worshippers, but not the moon cultists.
Mhm. Well, yes and no.
They aren't our moon cultists.
Hmm. Well, the moon cultists are part of the 10 followers. It's just
Yeah.
there's kind of two different branches of it. The
Mhm.
crazy ones that want, well, everyone to be cursed, and the ones who just kind of view it in a different light, just like all the others.
I get it.
Yeah. Because each of them have their own kind of, like, it's all one pantheon, effectively, but they all kind of view each of the 10 moons in their own kind of way. There's not technically 10 different branches. It's all kind of the same religion with the exception of the cursed ones.
Mhm.
But they do have, of course, people who kind of prefer one moon over another,
Gotcha.
especially for the ones for the dome moon
Cool.
and the cursed, I suppose. So the moons are gods after a fashion. But rather different than all the other gods, because the other gods are either creatures or humanoids of some sort or another.
Checks out.
The moon's a humanoid.
No.
Yeah, we're just looking at them head first.
You
The
still be able
moons
to
are
see
not
shoulders.
humanoid. I can guarantee they're not humanoid.
The light is their head burning in re-entry.
No.
Brace for impact.
Their light is something. It's not that.
I just like the idea of like these big people lying
So
face
it's
down,
kind of a funny world.
head first.
The moons are all bald men. And women.
I mean,
No,
that's
they're people you see in profile, and as the phases change, they like their head spins around.
yeah, that's pretty
Keep in mind,
cursed.
these moons never have phases, though. Their phase is basically which moon is up.
Hmm.
You always see the full moon, though. I'd guess the exception of the abjuration moon, but you still know the abjuration moon's up. It's just you can't see it very well. Because it is kind of black against the black sky, so you can see it as it's passing in front of stars and whatnot. I kind of want Jake here for this. For when the Raven returns.
Raven returns. No.
Hey, you
No,
guys like
it does. That'll be the next thing that happens.
Johnny Vanguard goes like, "Hey, you guys want to go get some strippers?" And then
No.
we have to RP that for a bit.
No. If
Then
Johnny
Jake-
Vanguard tries to get me to RP getting strippers, he's gonna be RPing choking to death on his own blood.
No,
Do brothels exist in Bethstrom? Yes. Will you ever RP inside of them? No.
No.
Mechanical hazards.
Wait, what if we fight someone in a brothel though?
Then you'll be fighting someone in a brothel.
Sick.
we can't know anything about our surroundings. We won't be told
Maybe we
anything.
just fight them in the void.
Yeah. It's like in a fucking video game where the background disappears and you just have the fight stage that you're in.
Yeah, you're just standing on like black nothingness across from them.
Yeah. That's one of those things that I do not stray into.
Yeah, no, that's
There's just a few things. Torture and that is basically where I draw the line. It is, we don't cross this point. I don't care how much you want to cross it. The line is there, and it's not just a line; it's a freaking wall. Because if you try and
you gotta
cross it,
draw a
you'll walk
line in the
into it.
sand. You gotta ask, where am I willing to DM?
Yeah.
not fucking.
And that line happens to be a wall of force because frick you, you're not crossing it.
That might be a bad example because you can disintegrate that.
blow through Mitchell's in real life boundaries with an in-game spell.
Yeah, no.
No. So, you guys want to play Pictionary?
What's the Pictionary? Oh, fuck you guys. I'm gonna go talk to fucking demons. I'm just gonna leave the city.
Alright, how about this, guys? We join Cook and blow it all up.
I think if I agree
Fine.
to that, I've got a few demons who are gonna interfere in my life greatly and make it a living hell.
Disadvantage.
No, thank you.
Give them no
It won't be a
cover.
long hell. So that's good. Yeah. The exit is right across from the gift shop, right over there. It's just to the foyer.
I actually will be going out to try
Continue the
and
onslaught.
commune with some
Destroy
fucking
them all.
demons.
John,
Commune just being, I'm trying to find ways to kill time, in character. So I'm just wandering around like, if demons want to fucking talk to me, we can talk. Otherwise, I'll just be like looking for elementals,
As the fiend
so I can
falls,
just watch them from a
Yeah.
distance.
hope blossoms.
Speaking of killing time in character, China's gonna read some scripture and meditate upon it.
Yeah.
And then give money to the homeless and revel in how thankful they are to him.
Jesus
You can do
Christ.
that.
Giant type motherfucker who would record giving money to the homeless just to ask for it back off screen.
I only give money to the homeless for tax credit.
Yeah. That'll edit together really well on social media.
Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles.
So, yeah, I mean, you're able to find homeless people. They definitely exist here. So
Wonderful.
you
I will
can give
now-
as much or little money as you want to give to the homeless people. They are
many-
thankful for it either way.
So, okay, I gotta ask, how much actually is a silver?
It is
like
a fairly
in-game.
significant amount of money to a poor person.
You can live like on the street. I can't remember what it was. I think it was like 5 coppers for a squad lifestyle per day. Maybe less actually.
So 4 days squalid lifestyle is silver. So I'm
Think
gonna
so.
I'm gonna give 2 silver to every homeless person I find, and bask in their adoration because I'm a hero.
I mean, they're thankful for it.
But are they adoring?
They're not gonna
Yeah.
fucking suck your dick over 2 silver.
No, I'm not looking for that. No,
Oh, a squad lifestyle is actually 1 silver piece. Per
1
day.
silver per day.
Yep.
So 1 silver is 10 days. All right, 1 silver each then.
Devastating blow.
What? 1 silver is if it's 1 silver per day. How is 1 silver 10 day?
No, I thought you said 1. Oh, you said 1 silver a day. thought
I
you
said what? You even said so 1 silver.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
1 silver is 10 day. No.
in my head, I was thinking copper, even though I said silver.
A modest lifestyle is 1 gold piece a day.
Great is the weapon
Forest
that
Alright.
cuts on its own.
Silver.
All right, so
Of
7
course, you have a
silver.
house.
7 silver per homeless person.
True. It's more of a like 1-room bedroom with a door and small roof. You
Yes.
might have a window.
So I'm giving 7 silver to each homeless person. Now, how adoring are they?
They are more adoring than they were when you handed them 1 or 2.
But how many are there? I need to subtract from my character sheet.
As many as you want.
Oh my god, I get my pick of the litter.
As many of,
And
as
I-
much
I-
coins as you want to give out.
And I am
There are
referring to them as
plenty of
litter.
homeless. You will not raise them out of poverty. Just on your funding.
Oh, no, I would not want to do that because then there'd be no one for me to give to and thus receive accolades.
There it is.
No, I get my pick of the litter, and I do mean litter as in trash. I think very little of these people.
Well, keep in mind, these still are Arathians, so they're not particularly yay enthusiastic, because Arathians generally just aren't. I mean, they're thankful, and they'll say, they'll say so, but they're not going to kiss your feet about it.
So 10 gold
Remind yourself that
is
overconfidence
70
is a
silver.
slow and insidious killer.
which is
Those coppers
7
are pennies.
70 silver, 10 people.
Yeah,
Every 7 is 10 people. So I'm going to spend 70 gold on this, which is 100 people.
So, yeah. You're able to kill like a day and a half just doing that.
Yeah, and I'm going to make sure I tell all of them that I'm Johnny Vanguard.
Probably like about 50 or so in, you start getting recognized by the other people that you're handing coins out to. They seem to be expecting you at that point. As for, well, before I get to demon / elemental things, what is Mo doing? Just hanging out?
Mo's perusing the stores.
Well, there's tons of stores.
And has been buying things like studded armor and a shield.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are easy enough to find. Well, actually, I mean, they're easy enough to find in big person stuff. But unfortunately, when you basically only have gnomes and goblins, and they're not going to make it for goblins, and gnomes don't come here very often because they live underground.
Is there like a gnomish Chinatown?
Not really. Gnomes are very, very, we're going to stay in our city and be happy there. So,
Be gone, fiend.
you're able to at least find someone willing to make it for you, and are able to get that done by the time Keith comes back. The shield, of course, is easy to find. They make little shields for you as well. Mostly because it's effectively a buckler.
Yeah.
It just is big enough that it counts as a shield for you. But so yeah, you wander out into the wilds outside the city, and there at least do seem to be demons that are at least visible to you, though they don't seem to actually be actively trying to interact or hide from you. They're just kind of existing at the moment.
Oh,
As far as elementals go, there are not very many. You sense like some. In particular, there seems to be a couple that are in the city, which you didn't notice before. But outside of the city, there's not really very many at all. A lot of underground ones, earth or, well, fire elementals that are just kind of hanging around. And there's some ice ones, of course, since it is still winter.
Another one
I'm
falls.
just gonna be wandering around watching shit pretty much.
Yep. Oh. I'm going to be right back.
Slowly,
Drop
gently.
something
This
on my
is how
mouse.
a
I'm
life
good.
is taken.
He dropped something on his mouse.
We can kill Oyeko.
Yeah, I think Jake should come back to having to make a new character. We have to do it while Mitchell isn't looking, or he'll stop us.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
Well, the DM wasn't here. We killed the PC.
No.
And then we kill John. And then we kill Mo.
This is the least functional party I've been a part of.
Not the least functional party I've been. Actually. I don't know. Would you say this one's more or less
Undead
functional?
Campaign.
True. The first Undead campaign. I think the first party I've been in was the most dysfunctional party.
That was like, that's like one of those like parties from like this new like genre of like superhero movies where like the superheroes are all really bad people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And there's like abuse between like the different heroes and like
the boys or Invincible or
Fucking actually.
one of those ones. You're right. That totally is a trope of just like, haha. What if the heroes were assholes?
All right, I have
Like,
sorted out
I
problems.
think that started with Watchmen, if I'm honest.
that sounds right. I don't really know. I've just seen like I've seen like these sort of ads or like trailers for like dysfunctional hero movies every now and TV shows every now and then. I think I watched only Watchmen was the only one I actually saw.
I know I've heard a lot about a Watchmen, but I've never actually seen it.
I haven't seen it. I have read it though.
I've heard the what is it? The comic, no, graphic novel is very good, but I do not read very many graphic novels. So.
It is quite good. It's I would say the only graphic novel I've read, and have been like, this was really good. However, I think mostly among people who like graphic novels, it's only good because of it was like the first one to have that take on heroes that wasn't all like, Golden Age comic, the heroes are good and the bad guys are bad.
Oh,
So-
I remember actually just thinking about it. Sorry, I don't know if I'll do it for the hero system or for Mutants and Masterminds, which is effectively just hero system but specific for superheroes.
Yeah.
But there is an anime that I watched called, what is it? Tiger and Bunny, I believe? Which effectively the premise behind Tiger and Bunny is there is a sci-fi like kind of semi-floating city that has superheroes that rather than being something more akin to Superman or Batman are actually effectively like it's part of a game show where you go out and you stop criminals, and when you stop criminals you gain points, and of course you lose points for not being a freaking for doing it well.
I think I saw episode 1 of that. It struck me as a little bit like WWE almost.
Yeah, it is a little bit like that, where it's kind of fake, but at the same time, it's not. And I think it would be really, really interesting to see people kind of build, like, very human heroes. That they have superpowers, but their superpowers are definitely far from infinite.
Yeah.
Like, the main guy, Tiger, has, I think, super strength, speed, etc. Like, kind of a all-around physical package that makes him superhuman. But, and of course, durability. However, it comes at the cost of you have like 5 minutes to do these things, and then your battery runs out, and congrats, you're back to normal person now.
Right. I liked, well, I saw the movie Mystery Men, and it wasn't my favorite movie, but what I liked about it was that the one sort of main character or main hero who gets captured at the beginning of the movie, and then the movie's about like these B tier heroes trying to like save him. Is he's covered in like NASCAR patches from all of his corporate sponsors, like his outfit.
Yeah.
And I just like the idea of like this overly corporate sponsored.
I mean, that's
Man.
Tiger and Bunny is freaking corporate sponsored heroes.
Do you want big strong bones like me, Tiger? Buy Hood milk.
I mean, basically, of course, Tiger is like part of the, like they have the new era of heroes, which are all flashy and, well, not really heroes in some ways, in his opinion, because he, of course, believes in the age-old trope of heroes should be selfless and defend the weak and, well, do it for the right reasons.
Right.
And the other heroes are money, dude. That's why we're mostly here. Because it pays.
Yeah. Are the villains in that also like performers in a sense? Or like their job is to evade the heroes? Or are there like some
sometimes I think
or is
it's a little bit weird because it does a weird kind of psychopath type of thing where like the first time you see villains they're like bank robbers or something along those lines who are retreating. But then as it kind of goes on, they end up being, you know, V for Vendetta, we're against the system because the system is broken type of stuff,
Gotcha.
where they're trying to make a point.
So they like go into actual crimes basically like with cameras around and it's like
Yeah.
teleport.
They're like, yeah, they have like security drones or spy helicopters type of thing. Or spy helicopters, newscopters.
News helicopters, spy helicopters. Same thing.
This is true.
Helicopters with cameras.
Traffic is really bad on I-95. Get that spy out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was just trying to think of how to do like normal people heroes that have, you know, a game built into it. Where you have to capture the villain, but you also have to be kind of flashy about it without damaging things, because that's why Tiger gets in trouble, is he's, well, when you have super strength and you're trying to stop villains, sometimes you break things.
World made of cardboard, right?
Yeah. And that, of course, means that the corporate sponsors have to pay out. Because they're,
Right,
on
okay.
the, they have to
They're
foot the
like
bill.
liable.
Yeah, they're liable because they're the ones sponsoring Tiger. So
Gotcha.
when Tiger breaks stuff, they're the ones that gotta pay the company that
I
they broke.
break stuff.
I
Kill
like
it.
that. I also really enjoyed. Well, I would love to play a game like that actually. And speaking of collateral damage, I loved the one with friend computer. What was it called?
Paranoia.
Paranoia.
I love Paranoia.
really
At some
enjoyed
point, like, I might just run like a big group one and just do it the way that I've always had it run for me, where you basically just get a random mission and then you just have to go out and hope that your friend computer didn't just screw you over. Although your group was way more happy citizen than the other group. Like, you guys were like, yeah, we're good citizens. We're definitely good citizens and not evil citizens in the slightest.
Well, I was a good citizen. I didn't even look up what my dude could do or was part of.
Yeah.
I only killed one party
I
member.
didn't realize I could.
Back.
Wait a minute, that's not true. I did kill one party member.
Yeah, you definitely killed more than one party member.
I think I did too.
I killed 2 party members?
No, I said I think I did too.
Yeah,
I
I like
also-
Paranoia. It's
I
so
also-
freaking stupid.
I also totally should have taken the pink pill when Jake offered it to me. I don't know why I didn't.
Suicide pill?
Yeah, but I didn't know that. He was like, "This is to calm you down," and I was very worked up at the time. But for whatever reason, I was like, "Nah, my character."
Well, at least it was better than, who was it? Ravel? Who just continually took freaking chill out
Yeah.
pills, which were like
Took the
horse
knockout pills over and
tranquilizers.
over again.
That's really what they were. They were like horse tranquilizers. So you had to make a freaking save or get knocked the heck out.
like ketamine, some shit.
No,
Yeah.
I think it really was like horse tranquilizer.
That's what ketamine is, though, right?
Yeah, ketamine is
I don't
horse
know.
strength.
I just know it because I'm Keith fucking Moon.
Mm.
Keith Moon was a drummer, I think, for the Stones? Rolling Stones, I want to say. They were like, dude, you gotta stop taking horse tranquilizers before we go out on stage. And he's like, I'm Keith fucking Moon.
Yeah, because the
He died.
the
in a
kind
car.
of normal way that you're supposed to run, well, supposed to run, a way to run paranoia, is you go, you collect the team, you get them to the briefing with hopefully only a couple casualties, and then the team gets set, basically team like positions, which usually the team doesn't get to pick. Like friend computer might as well just flip a coin for every person and just hand you random gear. So you have of course, the team lead. You have usually the backup, who is usually the happiness compliance officer or something like that. And then you have, of course, the cleaning officer and a bunch of other ones. Like, it's just, and then of course, because of your position, you have like extra gear. Like the cleaning officer has this big, huge robot that like will keep everyone clean.
I like
And
how
of
you
course,
said-
it's ridiculously easy to hack and make it, instead of friendly cleaning, it is lethal cleaning.
Deep clean.
So
like
deep
how
your skin stops functioning correctly because it's been rubbed off.
I like how you killed me for knowing about Mexican food.
Yeah.
Mm.
Lumpy was saying too many things that his citizen would have no way of knowing.
Mm.
So he was deemed a traitor and was killed.
Mhm.
I think it was because we were picking team names, and I was trying to get like 2 words that start with the same letter, and I think I picked burrito for one of them, or quesadilla.
Yeah. You pick something that your citizen would have no way of knowing about.
Yeah.
And so the computer deemed you knowing too much at that point.
And then we found that traitors.
Trust me, that was not
Ooh.
just because of that. There was a lot of other things
No
up to that
worries.
point.
No worries. But there was that was that moment later where we found the spaghetti and meatballs
Yep.
in that trader's house. And Kyron was like, the sauce is red. We're cleared for it.
It's true.
Like, ah, shit.
It's
the
red.
The sauce is red.
That's how it works. Everything that's your color and below can be walked on.
Yeah, but you can't walk on the food.
Well, and
Why not?
Injury and despondence.
I
set
guess
the
you could
stage
walk
for
on it.
heroism or
Yeah, because they had like a food replicator, like Star Trek style, where you put stuff in and then it would spit out food. Do you guys just want to go through the scene, or do we want to wait a little longer for Jake to return?
I said I was back.
Yeah, he's back.
Oh,
What?
I wasn't here while you were when you came back. I was cleaning.
Oh, so Theo and I talked, and while you, Mitchell, and Jake were gone, we killed Oyeko.
But we also killed Johnny and also Mo.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
guys can certainly try.
And I also killed myself. So.
No, we did. It was while Mitchell wasn't looking, Jake.
I see. That's fair. That plays.
So, yeah, if you're back then, Jake, good. We can continue. So, because there was the next scene I kind of wanted you to be here for.
That's fair.
I'm sorry,
So-
Jake. I totally didn't hear you get back.
I did hear him.
Death waits.
You were probably
Yeah, I
surprised
also
because
got back.
Lapse
I got
in
back and Theo
concentration.
chose not to interrupt me saying it. So
True.
I was waiting for Theo to interrupt you, but he never did. So how could you have been back?
It's the only way of detecting his return.
Yeah.
So, yep.
It
After
crumbled
the
for now,
about
but I
4 or
fear
so
there may be
days,
no end to
Heath
this
does in
blood-bought
fact
evil.
return.
out of curiosity, and for my
Foolish horrors
physical health,
brought low
does the
and
poison get
driven
any
to the
worse in
mud.
those 4 days or better?
It seems to just kind of, well, what, you still had a headache at this point, so it cools out at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, you
okay.
still have a headache, but it's not a, like, migraine. It's just kind of it's kind of annoying, but still you can still feel it kind of in the back of your head, but it's not like
But it's getting better.
screaming at you.
I'm pretty much cured.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is the perfect time for an in-universe pandemic, where Oyeko becomes patient zero of
Yeah, it's a part of the first zombie apocalypse.
Melth 19.
So, yep. Heath comes back as, well, basically as you're coming back from one of your trips, Guve. He just kind of seems to find you. And you guys are able to collect everyone. Do you look at the
Gentlemen.
note like when Heath comes back to you, or do you kind of wait for everyone to?
Oh, I'd look at it instantly.
Yep. So, I mean, you all do get to hear the note unless freaking when Kuve reads it, she's just like, and it's gone.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I read it, commit it to memory, and then eat it to make sure no one can get their hands on it, and then instantly forget it.
Read it, burn
And
it.
Heath just stares at you.
I read it, I burn it, and I kill myself.
I committed it to short-term memory. No.
I read it, see Heath read it, snap Heath's neck, no one can know, shoot myself for head of guilt for killing Heath.
So, the message does come back from Halvan. He kind of gives you a quick, how are you doing, etc., as a starting point, and that apparently his magic is slowly returning.
Unpog.
Alright.
Dude is better off without it.
In kind of what should we do now news, he suggests that probably the best thing to do now is, well, to either return and hope his magic is even more returned by the time you guys make it back, or what he suggests, go to find basically a tracking spell for, well, Cook from the Catharans. As well, he doesn't like them. They are the ones that have the best chance at tracking him down and maybe even knowing what he's going to try.
As a matter of principle, that is so last resort for Johnny.
The
Catharans he would are rather-
the big evil, right?
No, they're or
I mean,
That's
they
right.
sacrifice people regularly to keep magic going. So,
they're the
Yeah,
blood
those
elves.
yes, those ones.
Johnny would rather return to Halvan, find out his magic doesn't work, then go to Cathar, even though it would take longer.
Oyeko's more or less in the same boat. Those are pretty much the natural enemies of Oyeko.
Constantly sacrificing people for their own gain. I fucking hate them.
For Johnny, it goes greenskins, demons, Cathars.
Well, they're Catharans, but regardless.
Catharans.
Mo is just
Because they're-
shrug.
Yeah, their nation is Catharsis. Or Catharsist.
It's like catharsis, but with CYST.
I don't
It's
like them.
exactly what it's supposed to be. It's
But
catharsis.
I can also recognize that we should probably go to them.
Mhm.
We may have to eventually, but
Just
Not
bite the bullet
today,
now.
and Johnny
Just bite the
runs
bullet
off.
now.
not until we've exhausted every other opportunity.
If we exhaust every other opportunity first, that's no longer going to become an opportunity. The world's going to fucking end first.
I'm going to be honest, I think if we go there, I'm very likely to get into fights, and I
Me
think
too.
it's pretty unlikely I actually end up leaving that place in one piece.
And also, Halvan appears to be recovering, so
Surely there's somebody else in the world that can know tracking magic.
yeah, surely.
I am very against going
Do
to
you have any
this.
recommendations?
If
Blood
I
elf.
make a big enough sacrifice.
No.
If Halvan could already do it, there's no need for extra sacrifice. That is up to you, though. Your body, your choice.
I mean,
Sure,
it's
it's all
very
over the
possible
space
there's
time.
someone.
Yeah.
Well, there's someone in Arathia or somewhere in the 10 followers, but
While we're here,
Halvan can't think of anyone.
I mean, while we're here, we could ask the Mages College.
Mhm.
But Johnny would strongly prefer to go to Halvan.
Because he does not currently have the ability to help
How
beyond being a
circuitous?
source of information.
All right, I'm pulling up the map now.
Because he
Oh.
basically has cantrips, is
Look,
what you can
we're in
translate
Arathia.
his magic back to.
Yeah, okay, all right. Pull up the map. So we're in Arathia now, right?
Yep. You're in where the dot of Arathia is.
Yeah. So straight line to Catharist, or the triangle route to 10 followers, and then potentially over to Catharist. We're not moving in the opposite direction from Catharist.
Yeah, but we're also adding like
Where do you see
50% more to the journey.
To the Johnny.
Journey.
Johnny. No, like this is a triangle, so we're adding.
Yes, I understand that it's a triangle.
We're multiplying by root 2, more or less.
No, math. Or sorry, math. Don't laugh at that. That wasn't funny.
Root 2 as a decimal. So it's more or less 40% extra distance.
It's a lot of extra distance.
So we're not doubling the distance. We're increasing it by around 40%.
To be fair, I said about 50%.
Oh, is that what you said?
Yes. What do you think I said?
I thought you said like double. And I was
No,
like,
there's
oh.
no way that's doubling it.
I was, yo,
It's physically impossible for you to double it using that unless you really fuck up with directions.
We could probably do that.
I'm a ranger. What?
Really?
You'd have to try.
Yeah, but we're capable of it.
definitely.
If you
capable-
entirely ignore Gube the entire way.
Well, yeah, we
At
could
that
just
point,
like
I'll
knock
just start
her out, tie
traveling
her up.
alone. Fuck them.
We could kind of
We have
zigzag.
Gube adventures, and then the rest of the party.
Adventures.
Listen, if I'm being fucking hamstrung by the whole party, one of two things is happening. Either A, I'm leaving them to continue the mission, or B, I'm going back to the colony.
So is the vote right now tied 2-2? Alban and Catharist?
To be
'Cause
fair,
I know
if we count Halvan's vote, I think it is technically 3-2.
And I got 2 pets, so that makes it 4-2. 5-2, actually.
I have a sword,
And no, these get
and
half a
Frog. If Frog was here, he'd vote with me. So
Yeah, but Frog isn't here. And if we're gonna count things that aren't here, then I got 4 fucking Fae who'd vote with me.
Johnny also has a sword.
I have Frog's entire extended family.
You really want to go down that line?
Johnny has the power of God and enemy on his side.
Oh shit!
No.
I had the ghosts of my ancestors.
No, fuck.
All of them. Even the very
Here's the thing,
recent
Johnny. You're from
ones.
Arathia, which means I automatically don't care about your vote.
Even the very recent ones.
Well,
The ones slain by your hand are extra subservient, I've heard.
regardless of your plan, when you step back outside of the inn to kind of travel to wherever you guys are planning on traveling, could you guys all roll perception checks for me?
Yes, chef. I'm assuming I'm still poisoned.
I will.
No, at this point, the poison has faded to the point where it's not as distracting.
Oh my god, and I'm back in fighting form.
Looks like I need
Yeah.
to refresh.
Oh, yeah. Should be able to roll now, though. Hopefully.
Normal. We
Alright.
did it.
So, as you guys step back out, for at least Guve and Mo, you notice there are few people around seem to be kind of looking in your direction. And even a couple of small children seem to be pointing. Not directly at you, but something nearby. Oyeko, you, on the other hand, notice that, and a shimmer that seems to be kind of just in the air near you guys.
Do you guys see that?
Huh?
See what?
Look, you see the little shimmer.
I mean, wouldn't point out. Can we in fact see it?
You can. Johnny and Mo don't catch a sight of it.
I don't.
So, does this sound at all familiar to what was described to me about the thing that hunted demons?
Probably.
Mm.
As you notice, your Heath seems to shrink. And at first you think it's literally just, a bird just kind of collapsing in on itself in the same way that they kind of puff. But no, Heath is actively becoming smaller. Like he was a crow, and now he's closer to the size of a small bluebird.
This does not seem good.
I just had the fucking sickest feeling of deja vu.
Hmm.
And then, of course, it becomes blatantly obvious to even Johnny and Mo as
Deja vu.
almost
No,
a
I don't speak Elven.
hole just kind of starts ripping into the air.
I would like to get my horse and leave.
I think it's time to go.
I'm done here.
Does my Arathian heritage give me any insight at all into what's going on here, or no?
No.
No.
You can sense that it's bad.
Well, this is unnerving. Let's get
Bird
out.
is being shoved into backpack for now.
I mean,
You'll
you guys
do
only
fine in
make it a
there.
few steps away before the hole opens enough for a hand and face to come through. And it seems to be at least mostly humanoid.
But maybe we can reason with it.
The head is...
Is it green?
No, surprisingly. It's like stark white.
Okay,
Not
then
bone
maybe,
white, like
And
glowing white.
improvement.
okay, then maybe we can reason with it.
I don't like this.
No, I'd like to keep leaving, actually.
Which of you are staying and which of you is attempting to
I
flee?
don't think we're gonna escape from this thing very easily.
I don't either,
seeing as how
but
it
I'm
just
not
pulled
fucking
a hole
sticking
through space,
around.
So I'll just stick around. And also, if the assumption is that this is the demon hunting thing, I don't have any demons on me right now, so
I don't know if my sword counts. It probably does.
it probably does. Running will make me guilty. Staying
How quickly the
and
tide
facing my own
turns.
crimes, little at those that they are.
No, I think I'm done here.
After only a small handful of seconds, the thing at least comes through about halfway. And seems to be a mostly kind of... Well, it doesn't seem to really have much of a gender. It is kind of partly skeletal. It's like almost kind of see-through with 2 long arms and a much larger head
Press this
than it should
advantage.
have.
Give them no
If you know what a Morngul looks like, it kind of looks like a, well, see-through version of that.
Destroyed.
Oh, I hate
More
that
packed
description.
skull. And it seems to
spell
lock
that?
eyes.
Mournngul.
I think
don't know.
Or
it's.
use like the.
I thought it was
the
MOR
hammer
and
things.
GHOUL.
Yeah,
Ah,
I fucking hate those things.
It's about the same description, though. This one is probably a lot smaller than a Morngul, but it's kind of got the same body shape, where it's mostly torso and very long arms. But it just kind of hangs in the air in front of you guys. And just
Hello.
kind of utters.
Oh, it's undead.
Leave. I ask questions to you.
What was the first thing you said there? I didn't quite catch it. Because I heard
Leave.
you leave. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, do you want us to leave or do you want us to ask? Do you want to ask questions?
I would request answers. You are strange. And I have been tasked with a request. for answers.
What answers are you looking for?
By the way, even though you guys are moving away, it still sounds like it's as close as it was.
Pog, staying still was optimal.
And the air around you seems to start shimmering as well as you continue to move.
Ever since we found out this was more undead than demon, you'll notice Johnny is way
As the
more
fiend
comfortable.
falls,
Yeah, this thing definitely
hope
appears a lot
blossoms.
more undead than demonic in nature. Though demonic in nature is kind of a misnomer because they come in so many different forms.
seize
Yeah.
this momentum. Push on to the
So,
tasks.
are you
and-
returning or are you continuing to move towards the stable?
I mean, I never started to leave.
Yeah. I know you're still in place.
Vay's lead.
I will answer, but I'm going to keep moving. And that I'm going to say ask away as I continue moving.
I would gladly speak with you.
Yep. It just kind of shakes its big head.
Obliterated.
Flee. Foolish. And it points at you and Johnny Oyeko, and then points at the ground where you stand.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
I guess I'll take a seat.
And then it seems to just vanish. It doesn't go back into its portal, it just stops existing, as if the hole was never there. And rather than, of course, doing its whole portal thing in front of you, Guve, it just appears out of thin air and makes a grab for you.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm just sitting there, I'll
It's a
just,
myth.
Continue the onslaught.
It's gonna grab you.
Yes.
this is why I hate magic, by the way. Stuff like this. The sacrifices is it,
Try
and then you
grab
get this
onto
shit.
Vay.
It, by the way, it's not just one hand, it's like both hands wrapped around your entire torso. These are that big. It just starts tilting its head until the head is like further than 90 degrees.
Their formation.
Thanks for trying, Mo.
Maintain the offensive.
You wish to hide.
You are very frightening to look at.
It doesn't seem to shrug or anything. It just kind of starts to move you back in the direction, which to you seems like it just is floating back and towards the other two.
Why do you
Oh,
run?
it-
You're fucking
it just-
scary,
it
understandable.
completely ignores you if you're clinging to Guve.
Mo
It
is just
doesn't
hanging
seem
onto
to
Vay's
care.
leg.
It doesn't seem to care about the slight extra weight. Until you make it back and it just kind of
Waiting to be
lets
spent.
you go and seems to float back to its prior position. Or its hands just kind of droop back into, like, kind of pointing fingers down toward the ground. And these are, I guess, fingers tipped with long claws, of course.
God, you were fucking unnerving to look at. You said that was humiliating?
Yeah.
Which part?
Questions.
Let's go on.
Why do you create demons in this?
You cut out a little bit there, Mitchell.
Like I said, why do you create demons within the city?
Did we create any demons?
I don't know anything about how to create a demon.
I wasn't
really
aware
know
that we
anything.
could create demons.
I don't really know anything magical at all. What demons are you referring to?
You have many.
How?
And just kind of slowly raises a finger to point at Heath, and then moves its hand to point at the sword, and then points to just at you. Oh yeah, go.
I don't have a demon with me right now, actually. At least
I'm
as
referring to
far
the
as I'm aware, I don't.
Icicle.
Use-
Perhaps I am mistaken. Just kind of tilts its head. Oh, I don't think I am.
I mean,
Heath uses a messenger.
Well, perhaps by create, you mean sort of bring?
Mm-hmm.
Why we bring?
Yes.
Um.
You break the barrier.
I
Drag humans into our realm.
it breaks the barrier if we bring them.
After a
Diminish.
match.
I don't really understand magic like at all.
We didn't even realize there was a bear until we entered.
Answer. Why do you... Seems confused for a moment. Bring demons into our city.
Well, I can say, at least for myself, I was not aware I had any demons that were still with me at the time. But that's... If I was bringing them in, it'd be because they were my allies, I suppose.
Well, I personally feel bad for not knowing because I'm from Arathia, but I sort of didn't realize that it was a problem.
The ground quakes.
But if I had known it was, I definitely would have left them outside.
Be wary.
And
Triumphant pride
You
precipitates
are
a dizzying
not
fall.
one of the king's servants. You shouldn't know.
Good. Well, if it makes you feel any better, we were going to bring them back out, so that should help out, right?
Yes. But why did you bring them in?
Well, this sword is handy, and we were seeking a watcher, and those things are very dangerous. So I figured I would have it on me.
Yeah,
Decimated.
at least for a thing that you apparently think is a demon. Hold on. I will pull out the icicle. Is this a demon to you? Because this is just a thing. There's no demon inside of this.
You do notice that the icicle is entirely frozen again.
Oh, that's odd.
He just
Do you
kind
know
of
anything
looks at
about-
it.
Um,
Yes. That.
huh. Guys, I think this is... I think we need to ask him some questions as well.
I don't think he's
Hey,
gonna
do you know-
answer.
Do you know what a watcher is, if you don't mind me asking?
Is Watcher demon?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
No.
No, it's not part of my hunt.
What is part of your hunt? Is it just
Annihilated.
demons?
Yes.
Because I can tell you that this icicle is not a demon.
Success so clearly in view.
It has a
Or is this
connection.
merely
Their
a trick of the
magic.
light?
Okay, can I explain what it is so you don't like murder it? It's
We cannot murder that.
well, that's good. But this isn't a demon. There's no demon in it. It just I think can talk through it. Maybe I don't know. So really, it would not do any good to like destroy it or anything like that.
Really went for the I'll explain what it does, and then went for I have no idea what it does.
Tasked with destruction of this. Merely questions.
Well, that's good. Wait, you're tasked? Who tasked you, the king?
My king.
Eradicated.
Yes. The Eternal protects us. Creates us.
Would he like to, is he curious about, like, what we're doing just in general, or only why we brought demons?
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow
Knowledge
and insidious
of
killer.
why you brought demons into his city.
I will go, okay, this might be a little bit of a story. And I will start to tell effectively why we're here.
I was born on a small
It's gonna
island.
take a little while. I'm gonna sit
Abridged.
down at this point.
An abridged version, of course, but
Yep. I mean, it listens. It doesn't, of course, change his expression or anything, because it's an undead creature that can't, really. But, yeah. It seems to just kind of nod at the end. I accept that answer.
that's good, because if you didn't, we'd have to fuck.
Dazed, reeling, about to break.
I would suggest not to return with demons.
A singular strike.
Might garner bad attention.
Well, it's appreciated. We appreciate the warning.
Many thanks.
It just starts to melt back into the, well, wherever it came from before vanishing entirely.
As victories mount, so too will
That was
resistance.
weird.
I hate Arathia. I'm gonna go get my fucking horse.
After it's gone, I'm gonna take another look at the icicle.
It seems to have returned back to its formerly somewhat watery shape.
Huh. I wonder why.
Maybe it freezes more when we're about to get fucked over by something way stronger than us.
Maybe? I don't know. I'd love to get this thing sort of like figured out what it was, but I don't trust anyone enough to hand over a gift from, you know, Frog's grandmother.
So, yep. You guys are able to collect your horses and ride out of the city without consequence.
Hoggies, we're nuts.
Where are you headed?
Good question.
Catharsis.
Because I don't think we had actually decided that.
I'm heading to Catharsis.
Johnny, I hate to say it, but I think if we don't group up, this gets even worse.
No.
Well, of course. That's the
I
only
just-
reason I'm with you.
That's true, actually. We would have left you a long time ago.
Precisely. To your detriment, you would have done that.
I made an effort to, but then, you know, the world started ending. Lucky me.
You are.
Glare. Just, I'm going to, again, restate my warning. I'm a very calm person, but that place pretty much stands for everything I'm against.
Catherine?
So, yes.
I totally agree. It's the worst.
So, don't expect me to be civil in any regard.
Don't get into any fights or get yourself killed. You can
I'm
do that after we're done
probably
here.
going to get into fights.
Did I
Don't-
space out? Did I space out when we decided to go there? That's awful.
I don't think we decided as a group. I think Gouvet's just walking there and
I'm
you
riding.
know,
Gouvet's a
Long
moron.
horse.
Gouvet is being idiotic, and we shouldn't do that. We should do what Halvan suggested, which is go back to him.
Alvon suggested we go
to
there.
Catharsis.
We should go to the other option Halvan presented because Catharsis sucks.
Johnny, I agree with you, to be honest, but if Gouvet chooses to go one place, we can't stop her, and if we don't group as a team the next time either squad of us encounters anything,
How
we're just
about
going to get
we
destroyed.
let Geve go, and perhaps someone else of 7th level will stumble into our path.
The problem is Mo's going with her, so it'd just be, oh Christ, leave you alone.
Horrors. Brought low and driven into
Good
the
point. We
mud.
should go with that.
It would just beat us two. Oh fuck!
They just both start running.
wait for us. Wait for us.
Be us setting up camp together and spending. No, no, you get thirst from me.
That being said,
You're
Jake,
like
the
a
player,
sacrifice!
would pay good money to somehow end up in a situation where it's just Oyeko and Johnny.
God, that'd be
we
fucking
get
funny.
separated with like a cave in.
I like how that was the thing that made the final decision. You two realizing, wait a
Uh-oh.
minute, it would just be us two. For that.
Oh no.
I would give him 2 hours before one of them was dead on the ground.
We're so dysfunctional that we wrap around and become functional again. It's
No,
great.
the thing is, Oyeko and Johnny would never kill each other. Is the fucked
No,
up part
no,
because they're
Johnny
both like, well, they're
Oyeko's
trying
a-
to.
Waiting for the other one.
Johnny's trying to help save the world. I mean, I can't kill him until that's done.
It was like, a lesser man would absolutely kill Oyeko, but I'm a hero, so I would never.
Oyeko's just like, just a little bit longer. Once the world's saved, then we can throw down.
I can do this. One step, one foot in front of the other.
Oyeko's okay with a little bit of suffering on her end for the good of the world. And unfortunately, that little bit of suffering is Johnny. What a wild party.
It's so sick.
Nobody, like, really even, like,
These
likes
nightmarish
each other. Like,
creatures
Gouvet and
come and
Oyeko get
they can
along,
be
but, like, I wouldn't say they even like each other.
Johnny enjoys Mo's presence. He doesn't understand her at all, though.
I don't think anyone understands Mo. Mo is just there.
This is true. Also, actually, yeah, you know what? Honestly, Jake, the way what you said actually really, I agree with that entirely. I don't think Gouvet really likes Oyeko. They're just like, yeah, I'd trust my life with them. Would I like want to spend significant time outside of this adventure with them, like hanging out? Probably not.
Yeah, so Johnny absolutely trusts the party, but also when this is over, he has no intention of seeing any of them ever again.
Yeah.
Save the world together, handshake, just leave.
Oh, I
Or
will
it's a
not
Royal
shake
Rumble.
Johnny's hand.
Let's nod at each other.
If at the end of this Johnny offers a handshake, Gouvet will shoot him. That'll be the final fucking straw, because like, I know I have to deal with this sociopath.
No,
Okay.
Johnny would not want to shake your hand. So
Easiest
that'll,
fucking clap in my life.
that'll put you at ease there.
Where other groups become good friends. This group, yeah, we'll work together, but that's where it begins and ends.
Other group becomes.
We're
become a
we're
good
we're work
friend.
acquaintances. That's as far as we're going.
Other groups become good friends. This group becomes bigger enemies.
Less enemies.
Yeah, this group hates each other more, but also tolerates each other more as time continues.
Until we save the world, I guess I can't kill you. But once that happens, well, we'll see where that ends. So, yep. You guys get on the road and make
Mechanical
some,
hazards possessed by
well,
evil
make some
intent.
time. but it's still going to be a trip to get to Catharsis. It's going to take about... What, it took you guys about 2 weeks to get to here, but you did take a little bit of a, like, out-of-the-way route.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, but Catharsis is still further than 10 followers from Arathia, so it's probably going to be about 2 weeks. At least with horses. Well, with horses it'll be a little bit shorter. So we'll say a week and a half. So.
Alright.
And the first 3 days are boring. Like, not even the weather decides to do anything other than be cold.
I guess I should
That's
ask
fine.
again, since it's been another chunk of days. How's the poison?
Finding the stuff is only
And it
the first test.
still is where it
Now
was
it must be
before.
carried home.
Okay, so
I will be back shortly. Sorry.
It doesn't seem like it's going to get better for a while unless you actively go out of your way to fix it. It seems to kind of, well, have settled into what is now life. Just a very weak headache all the time.
It's alright. Being around Johnny's already enough of a headache, I may as well have a physical one too.
Yeah, I mean, you see travelers on the road, but they're fairly normal farmers bringing their stuff to the city or away. Empty carts with their, well, not empty carts, but carts filled with their new goods coming back. Although seeing it's wintertime, they basically are, this is emergency, emergency selling of stuff. Digging into larders. I guess the one interesting thing is you guys do see a troop of soldiers walking around. Well, marching from one area to another. Away from the city, kind of. Along the same route you guys are following.
Should we ask soldier what brings them this direction?
I don't really think it matters much, does it? Like, what are they gonna possibly say that could change our...
We're defending the border from Catharsis. We're killing monsters. Doing normal soldier things.
They could say that there's a Kainu hunting dragon patrolling the way.
Okay, and what...
I hate to tell you, dragons don't hunt people. Dragons barely notice people.
A trifling
Keep in
victory.
mind, small dragons
victory,
are the
none
size of
less.
hills. And that's like wormling small. Big dragons, which are basically the only dragons that are left, are like the size of cities. Like, they accidentally walk through cities and cause terror. You don't fight dragons, you hide. And hope they don't stomp you by accident. Dragons in Methdrum are more forces of nature than they are creature.
Hunting dog.
Oh, I think we could take a dog. No.
Yep. You guys do finally come across something kind of interesting on day 4, however, of another traveler who seems to be acting a little odd.
Uh-oh.
They are walking in the opposite direction. You guys are kind of out away from the farms at this point, so it's mostly just you guys. You see a traveler every now and then, but this one, you see them at about 100 feet off. Seems to be like walking strangely. Like, they remind you more of a zombie than a person.
Okay.
They kind of shuffle. And once in a while, their arms will just kind of spasm. Their head seems to be at least somewhat stable. But and they
Well,
will be
my
passing
birth-
by you guys unless you kind of get off of the road.
I am gonna get the fuck away from this man.
Yeah. I'm just a very strong, like Walking Dead zombie, or not Walking Dead, whatever that one was called, the Shaun of the Dead zombie vibes.
Goofy zombies.
This expedition at least promises
Wow.
success.
I mean, are you guys jumping off and hiding, or just stepping off the road?
I wouldn't be hiding. I would just have the
Alright.
horse step off the road a little bit.
Distance.
How much distance are you keeping?
Uh,
So you guys are just
1,000
stepping
feet
off the
radius.
road.
a dash action's distance.
Like 10 feet.
All right. Well, yeah, you're literally just step off the road.
Yeah, I wouldn't be like, I mean, sure he's walking weird. I don't think he's gonna randomly jump me. I just think he might get startled easily.
Actually,
Yep.
let me rephrase that. That's I keep an Oyeko
Curious is
between
the
me
trap
and
maker's
its
art.
distance.
His efficacy unwitnessed by his own eyes.
I mean, it appears human, so if it is a zombie-like creature, it probably isn't much faster than that.
Is it a human?
It is not.
Mm.
Well, I guess it is and it's not at the
Glittering
same time.
gold,
Like, you
trinkets
get a
and
reading, but the
baubles,
reading is
paid for in
wrong.
blood.
Like, it comes up as human, but it's, like, erroring. Like, your sense is going, yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, I guess it's kind of a human.
My sis going. It's fucking something, bro.
Yeah. Like, you can sense it, but you basically don't get anything else out of it.
I am going to prepare my weapon. I will not have it like up and ready to shoot, but I will have it out.
And it just kind of, or he in this case, it is obviously now, just kind of keeps shuffling up the road.
Precision
And
and power.
when it does get to this kind of bead level with you, Oyeko, it does stop and just kind of start craning its head in your direction. Its arms kind of coming up and just kind of like gripping and letting go and gripping and letting go.
Hello.
He just smiles at you.
A
A
powerful
smile of
foe.
absolute madness. And his eyes kind of
Right.
glow faintly light green.
was gonna ask-
Hello?
I was gonna ask what color of magic that was, but then I realized Oyeko really would not know.
Well, light green is
A
cursed
devastating
green.
blow.
Ah, okay, that color
Yeah.
green. Alright, I wasn't sure if it was
Yeah, no.
actual
The
magic.
actual green is kind of a more deep earthy green.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is the color of nothing actually. There is no green color.
Damn.
Other than of
Sag.
course the
They canceled
person.
grass.
because the different colors are purple, silver, white, orange, blue, yellow, black, and gold. So, yeah, the only green that's magical is, well, Mellowlax, Cursed Moon, Sickly
I
Green.
see. Okay, hi.
Lovely day for a walk. Yes?
Is it like a nice day?
I mean, it's still freezing, but I mean, at least the sun's out.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. There's been better ones, but it's pretty good.
You aren't cursed, are ya?
Oh, no, I mean, no, not at all.
And he just kind of leans a little backwards and stares at the sky. His head just kind of lolling backwards. Yeah, best find a hole then.
What?
Stuff's gonna happen tonight.
Night? Oh,
It is, by the
okay.
way, nowhere near the cursed moon. It's still a couple weeks off.
This is Oyako's gonna insight this guy.
He seems to be honest, but then again, he is mad. So
Well,
could
that's
just
really,
be,
that's
you
good
know.
to know. Do you know why the curse moon's coming out early?
Impressive.
no. It hasn't mentioned why. It just
Oh, it
told
tells
me
you.
it's coming.
Okay. But I mean,
It's
that's
a marker for the next coming of the fall.
the next
Be
coming of the
nice.
what?
Masterfully
Smash it.
executed.
Next coming of the fall, you said?
Yeah.
I thought he said ball, and I was like, damn,
I'm back.
a dance.
Okay, well, I appreciate the warning. Like, really, I do. And also, what is this, what's this fall you talk of? I'm not familiar.
Oh, you know, we gotta shake things up now and then.
Okay, but like, how so? I mean,
You gotta take pieces off a board when you play a game, right?
oh, so it's like mass
To be fair, some
destruction
games you
kind
add
of?
pieces.
Are you just yelling that from the distance?
Yeah, there's that one where you just keep adding pieces until eventually one person ends up winning and you flip them over. You don't really take pieces off that board when you play.
Go, yeah. Unfortunately, Go is not a game that these people play.
Pachinko.
I guess
Okay,
you
so-
don't take pachinko pieces off, but that's because pachinko is weird.
Mm.
Bum. Yep. He just kind of starts to chuckle and then just hysterically starts to laugh. And just kind of keeps shuffling on down the road.
Okay. A little bit of a weird encounter, but okay, guys, he said that the cursed moon is gonna come out early, and I don't care if he's insane or not. I'm not gonna risk that. So can we find somewhere to take shelter tonight?
Your headache, by the way, intensifies for a
Oh.
few minutes anyway, but it doesn't pass after you
Oh, okay.
can't hear him anymore from what it feels like anyway.
Must be stress.
Yeah. His laughter just kind of getting into your head.
Yeah. It's random cursed moon without known shelter.
Yep.
Stress, 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 stress.
So you do still have about 4 hours before the moon comes up. If, of course, it comes up.
Yeah, I mean, Oyeko is going to be looking for shelter
Yep. Johnny
and
is
traveling quickly.
Does
You
it
guys are
appear to be
currently
within
kind of in
5
the
miles?
in a light wooded area in flatlands.
Is there a group of humans within 5 miles?
There definitely are. You guys are still in Narathia country, so
Start heading for the nearest group of people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are seems to be one that's like 3 miles up the road. There's also one that's there's a couple more that are kind of scattered around. Like that's kind of the closest one. The rest are kind of at the very, very edge of your vision.
3 miles up the road will work fine.
All right. Yep. So you guys hike the
also-
last 3 miles up the road.
So I should probably be specifically trying to figure out ones that aren't like moving anywhere quickly, because that's more indicative of something like a homestead.
Yeah, none of these are really moving much. Like they
Okay.
shift around, but they
Yeah.
stay kind of vaguely in their areas. So, yep. You guys move 3 miles up the road at a quick march, and there is a small roadside tavern.
Oh, that's good.
Well, roadside inn.
Wait a minute. Weren't we specifically warned not to go into roadside inns if there isn't like anything else around?
Yep.
Well, if the options are that or being cursed by the cursed moon, I will always take the potentially false local folklore.
Yeah. By the way, that inn also has a single elemental in it as well.
I mean, you guys
Oh.
are free to stay outside. I'm gonna stay here.
I mean, I guess I should ask if there are any other places that look like they might be homes within. Let's see. So we had what, like 4 hours? You said,
4
and then
hours
3
before the moon
miles. That's
starts
like
to
an
full
hour
moon.
then.
Yeah.
So,
Now, you can easily make it to any of the locations before the time comes.
I mean, I'll go check out another location that's nearby.
Yep. I mean, are you just picking randomly, or are you trying to stick closer to the road?
I'll pick one randomly.
Okay.
Just the
So-
closest one, I think.
So, yeah, you ride off the road, and after kind of reaching the edge of your vision, with about like an hour and a half remaining at that point, you find a small homestead. Like, small enough that they don't even have an independent barn.
Mm.
But they do seem to have a couple of
A
small
decisive
buildings.
Pummeling.
One's obviously more of like an outhouse, one's obviously some sort of like actual home. But they do seem to have some sort of like storage shed type of thing.
Prodigious size alone
Hey
does
there.
not
Alright,
dissuade
alright.
the sharpened
I'll
blade.
go like knock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there are people outside. It's still
Yeah.
daylight hours, so.
And I'm pretty much just gonna go up to them and say that we heard that there's a possibility that there will be some funky shenanigans going on with the moon tonight, and ask if we might be able to stay like in their shed for a night. Me and some other people.
Yeah. The farmer seems to be a fairly young man, along with a wife and a couple of children. And while he does try and convince you to, pay for the ever so wonderful privilege of staying in a freaking crummy shed, he only charges you like 5 copper.
Oyakos was giving him a gold. I don't like the thought of being out in a cursed moon, so it's appreciated.
Yep. Yeah, he does try and hand the gold back.
No, don't worry about it.
I'll give him the 5
He
copper.
might be trying to get something from you, but a gold is like, my con went way too well. What's going wrong here?
Yeah, she'll insist
Eventually,
that, that he
it's fairly
keeps it.
easy to insist for him to just take it.
Like, I was trying to get a payday. I wasn't trying to finesse you. What the fuck?
Yeah, pretty much.
Same thing.
So, you do also get a free meal out of it.
Hell yeah.
I mean, it's nothing special. It's just basically bread and some berries that they found. But
We like bread and berries.
We'll find somewhere to put the horses.
yeah, the horses aren't going to care about the moon. So
Yeah.
You can just tie them with the other horses. Well, with
If
the
you
other
cast
horses that they don't
polymorph on
have.
yourself, you're immune
Still
to the
count
moon.
as a no. You still count as a person.
Seems sus.
That's true, Paul.
Oh, that's true. What if you cast true polymorph?
If you cast polymorph without any knowledge, well, without ever wanting to transform back, then yes, you'd be immune to it. However, you'd also be stuck as whatever you are.
That's the real curse.
I'll avoid the curse boon by turning myself into a chair.
And keep in mind, you'd have to make a deal already to cast polymorph. So, because polymorph is definitely above level 4.
I will agree to get cursed by the cursed moon.
Yeah.
In
So
order
you're
to become
making
chair.
a sacrifice either way, if that's the way you're dodging the cursed moon.
No, the sacrifice is I will be cursed by the cursed moon in order to not be cursed by the cursed moon. It's perfect.
Funny.
That's not how that works.
In addition to that, I will permanently become a chair.
I have all the benefits of being cursed by the full moon, but also
Magic doesn't care what you're going to do with the spell. It asks for the required payment before you cast it. Whatever you're casting it with is irrelevant to it.
Mm.
You got to put the coin in before you can actually cast. So, yep. The storage room is fairly full. I mean, it's only partway through winter, so they still have plenty of extra stuff.
Mm.
Long.
Oh, we're done with it.
That's right.
Get 'em, boys.
And all that
Loaded
food.
oil.
I think
Thankfully, it's a well-built shed, so
this
no
is the
holes in
perfect
roof or
setting
anything.
for Jig's patented blow up the moon technique.
It actually is.
He's got so many. He's got so many targets.
I would go for all of them except for the dull moon.
You have to wait for them all to line up so you can blast through them all.
I like the dope.
Fortunately, only 3 moons line up at any one time, and the cursed moon is never a part of it.
Ah.
But when the sun finally does fall, light that creeps in slightly under the doorway is in fact sickly green.
Well, that guy, I really appreciate that guy warned me.
Yeah. Imagine if we didn't meet him.
It just is weird. How's my headache?
It seems to be intensifying. And is basically that way the whole night.
First moon, see do any weird creeping shit?
Well, I mean, are you guys? What are
Oh,
you
I'm
guys
staying
doing
up
in
the
the
whole
shed? Like, did you light a fire, or just have a torch or lantern, or do you guys just sit in the dark or lay down?
Well,
in the
Yakko definitely would not light a torch or anything like that, or any sort of open flame in a shed.
I rebought my lantern, so I guess we'll use that.
Sounds dangerous. Sheds.
It's a
rural
hooded
sheds.
lantern.
Oh, true.
That's true. I did blow up your other one.
Yeah, well, you didn't blow it up, you landed on it.
There are no
No.
windows in here, are there?
No,
Okay, good. No
it's
windows.
a shed. They do not build windows into them. In fact,
Some
that would
sheds have
kind of be
windows.
counterproductive for keeping animals out. Because these people do not have glass.
Ah.
I forgot to put more oil. God damn it.
Grievous injury.
Yep, keeping the lantern lit
Palpable
the whole
fear.
night. The light underneath the door does not do anything strange. It just sits by the door. No, of course, Oyeko, you just kind of staring at it for during the night. Definitely, it seems to want to move closer to you, even if it's, of course, like as the kind of flicker of the not the candle, of the flame inside the lantern. Like it seems to move into those little grooves in the light, the waves of fire, before, of course, being forced back to where it started. But it's not able to get in. And eventually, the sun does rise and banishes it entirely. If you slept, congratulations, you get a long rest. If you didn't,
Huge.
yep.
I'm pretty much out of oil, though, so that's kind of annoying. Because I forgot to buy more.
Watch your step.
Let's hope there's no more shenanigans.
Yes, sir.
Didn't like that.
Shenanigan
The
A
second
momentary
time the curse
abatement.
moons come out like ahead of schedule.
Family doesn't seem to have even noticed that it was the cursed moon. It's winter. They're not outside farming or anything, so it didn't catch them by surprise because they were all back inside.
Are we doing watches right now, or is it just the morning?
Morning.
Yeah,
Okay.
you guys aren't going to be attacked in a shed. At least not without Oyeko noticing.
Could be a mimic.
If it's a mimic, you know it's a mimic.
Gently. This
Trust
is how
me.
a life is taken.
You will not make it through the night.
No, a bunch of cultists just like
safely.
hatchet the wall down and drag us into the moon.
Thankfully, most humans don't do that. So
Actually,
We met some cultists who would.
we've
Yeah.
had a pretty good relationship with
most.
the mimics so far.
mhm.
True. I wasn't making a most argument. I'm not saying most people would do that.
So, you guys are given breakfast by one of the children. Again, nothing special. But it's at least nice to kind of let your rations stay a little longer. And you're able to get back on the road after a slight detour of about an hour. And continue onward.
Another one falls.
Yeah, look at that. To avoid the cursed moon, it didn't even have to stay in the cursed inn.
Is the inn still there this morning?
Yep.
Alright.
Well, there's only one cursed inn in Arathia, as far as I know. Besides that, they're inns.
That's kind of a childhood story.
Yeah.
Executed with impunity.
So, yeah, you guys continue traveling along the road. And, well, the first week then passes. And after about the second week, you guys kind of realize that you pass out of Arathian territory. Mostly because color returns.
Ooh, baby!
Annoyingly, it's mostly that the trees and other things kind of gain a slight reddish tinge, but I mean, at least it's color.
Joy.
I see black and white only anyway.
Well, you can see the trees have more gradient than otherwise.
Arathia, built for dogs.
Well,
Buy
Arathia
dogs
has lots
for
of color, It's
dogs.
just you gotta look in the right places.
Inside the flesh.
Well, people wear nice, colorful clothing. And of course, your religion is very, very colorful.
It's very BYOC around here. Bring your own color.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
I
kind of have
figured
to
out
because the universe has decreed that apparently this area is now clouds. You also notice that it seems to warm, surprisingly get warm. I mean, it's been freezing the whole time you guys have been traveling, and now all of a sudden it's 50 degrees. It's still chilly, but it's not freezing. Which is odd. You guys are still deep into winter. It's only early winter, so weather should not be improving yet.
Mood visibly improves the second we get Arathia. Joy.
Weather works on other continents, so this is probably normal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're used to it being cold pretty much all the time. It's like Massachusetts, where it's mostly cold, and then sometimes it gets warm. And then it gets cold randomly, the next day. Or even the next few hours. But what are you guys doing now that you kind of obviously crossed out of Arathia and now into more Catharan territory?
Unnatural and abhorrent.
second?
What I'm doing is I am becoming noticeably on edge.
Well, you guys have basically crossed into Catharsis territory. So, are you guys traveling differently is what I'm asking, or are you guys just continuing to travel along the road?
Probably
I plan to continue traveling along the road.
continue traveling along the road as well.
I'm happier now that we're not in undead lands, but I'm sure that is going to change the second we meet anyone.
No, this is a strict downgrade as far as lands go.
Well, as far as lands go, I think it's fine. People might be a bit of a downgrade.
Well, yeah, just the reminder of you guys all know because Catharsis freaking is known the world over. Even you know, Mo, that Catharsis is known for not being friendly to outsiders. They deal with them, but they don't always come back out. And sometimes they're welcomed in. Of course, they're usually welcomed in the form of slavery. So, they're not really nice.
I mean, I'll want to avoid any large groups that we see traveling, but otherwise, I think just keep going the same.
Yeah. It's fairly
If I can
easy
take them
to
ahead of
avoid
time.
most of the groups because you can sense that they at least have some humans in them.
Mhm.
If there are any groups that are wholly made up of, sanguine elves, it's going to be a little tougher.
Well,
Get ahead warning ahead of time. But yeah, if you guys are just continuing to travel along the roads, then you continue to make good time. Because you're not hiding or anything.
That's the plan.
was traveling alone, I could travel stealthily. This is bullshit.
Clang, clang, clang.
I could travel stealthily. You just hear a trio of clank behind you.
Well, yeah.
Time to pick up my armor before we left, right?
Yeah, you would definitely have time to pick up your armor.
I mean, if I really want to, I could actually literally just travel parallel off-road from them and travel at the same speed, and also stealthily. Which is funny to me, but I'm not going to.
The slow
Get
death,
lost.
unforeseen, unforgiving.
Pretty would actually get lost.
We actually get so lost we travel off the road and
Into me.
Oh, hey, you've been here the whole time. We got lost. Just looks back. 1,000 feet off the road. How the hell did you get lost?
Yeah. Well, it's like, I'm like, all right, I should be traveling parallel to them. So as long as they stay the same distance, I see the distance slowly start increasing. I go, wait a minute. No. It can't be.
So, the first day, you guys see literally no one. You guys are the only travelers. And even, like, sensing, you once in a very long while will get, like, one ping of, like, a human or maybe a couple of goblins at the very, very edge, but they're always seemingly traveling away from you. Like, away from the road, it seems.
Well, that's probably not good, but
On day 2, you guys do meet people. Well, at least you have a chance to. You get a distinct sense that there is a fairly large group of humans traveling on the road towards you.
I mean,
Fairly
every time
large being 20 or so people.
every time we find people traveling towards us, I want to get off the road and start moving stealthily.
Are you pulling everyone else off with you, or are you just letting them?
It's up to I
If
will
you- if
inform them
it
that
goes
there
off,
are
yeah.
people, and that I don't want
I'm
to encounter them,
Oh,
but I
yeah.
can't make them.
I mean,
Mhm.
absolutely. If Geve's going off the road, then I'm going off the road. No two ways about it.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
he's
are you
trying to
going
minimize
to-
social interaction because she doesn't want to get into any fights.
Well, are you guys going to entirely avoid this group, aka not even within visibility, or are you going to try and sneak past them? Because if you're like 2,000 feet off the road, you're not going to see them, but they're not going to see you.
Honestly, I'm more into the idea of just fuck it, complete avoidance. That's what I plan on doing.
Well, if
Mo's
you'd
trying
like
to
to look at them, you're rolling for stealth. And they do have a chance to see you.
Hmm.
Well, Mo is at least sticking close enough to see.
Yeko wants to protect Mo, but not that much.
By the way, if you're not with Mo, you're basically out of any combat encounter Mo stumbles on.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm just making that clear. So, Mo. Yeah. You see a column. Seems to be of soldiers. And, while there definitely are a whole bunch of humans, there are many more people in this column. As the humans seem to be the, well, slave part of this column, along with many other races. No goblins, though, strangely.
Hey, my assumption
Along
was
with-
correct.
Along with another cadre of, well, red armored soldiers. Mostly wearing like leather or cloaks rather than like full metal armor, but there are at least a couple that are more plate, like not full plate, but more breastplate type of armor. At a quick count, they are about 50 in all. About 30 prisoners and then 20 guards. with of course several that are very obviously mages. But none of them seem to see you, so you're able to just watch the column keep marching on. They do seem to be traveling away from Catharsis, which, I mean, is kind of strange, but... These people freaking murder people for, as far as you can tell, kicks, so... Who the heck knows what they're thinking?
I'm gonna let them go on their merry little way, and try and meet up with the party.
Yeah,
What are we
assuming
gonna
you
do when we get into a city? Did you say I gotta find like a fucking maze to actually help us track? You know what? That's a problem for future me. Figure that when we'll fucking burn that bridge when we get there.
And boy, will we burn it.
Yeah, that is the exact thought process that goes through Gouvet's head while fucking like in the underbrush, like, huh? Whatever.
Just like, wait, what is her plan?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like,
So, over the course of that second day, you guys are forced to do that a couple more times. Well, albeit much smaller groups, but still, like, obviously soldiers with a small group of slaves just kind of march down the road in the opposite direction from the city.
concerned about.
So many soldiers moving in
Yes.
the opposite direction.
Short answer,
Probably.
probably.
But what are we gonna do about it? I mean,
That's the long answer.
I mean, Johnny would know that Arathia and Catharsis are basically at a continuous war. Neither of them really put forces together to actually, like, try and stomp the other out, but, you know, continuous border skirmishing has basically been going on as long as both nations have been around. And they've been around since before the freaking end of the war, so... several hundred years worth of fighting, with neither side even bothering with freaking politics yet, or diplomacy.
Always.
I mean, Arathia has a point, and Catharsis needs people, so they both have a reason for it. Not the best reason, but I mean, it's a reason.
I think Arathia's reason for being at war is pretty fine, actually.
Yeah.
Hey, stop making our farmers slaves / sacrifices. That, yeah, or meat. Seems pretty fine as far as reasons for war goes.
It's kind of funny because the Catharans and the Arathians actually have a very similar mindset in some ways.
Don't know what you mean.
Difference in opinion. But at very early in day 3, however, you guys actually come across a settlement on the road. And like all Catharan settlements, and really most settlements, this one actually has a wall. It seems to be made... It's just a wooden palisade, but the wood seems to be streaked with black lines. Along with, of course, red sigils.
I don't like this place. Or like any of them.
I mean, you can go around. It's not that big a settlement. It's really more of a small, well, a medium-sized town.
Decide what exactly we are going to do about entering settlements.
I mean, what can we do about it?
Talk to as few people as possible.
Yeah.
Figure out if there's any mages that can help us there. If not, move on to the next one.
Normally I like to do talking in these places. I don't think you should have me be the talker here.
I definitely should not be.
Mo, you're up.
This was your idea, Gimpy.
That was a joke.
Let's hand the mic to Mo. I'm sure this will go well.
Evening, meet friends. I have come for a trade deal.
You know what?
Mo, you're no longer up.
You'll do great around here.
So, what are you guys doing with it?
I think the answer is we approach and ask to be let in. So, what were you saying, Theo?
Go around.
I mean, how big is the settlement?
I mean, it's gonna take like probably a good couple hours to move around it, but I mean, you can do it.
No, I just meant because I am trying to gauge the likelihood that there will be any information on the mages that we need.
It is a medium-sized town, so.
Medium-sized town.
But keep in mind, Catharsis is much more magical than every other nation. So even this will have mages.
And they, whether or not they're able to help us is like 50-50. And actually probably lower than 50-50, but they'll probably
You
know
just
where we might
don't
be able
know.
to go.
You just
I'm
simply
making
don't know.
assumptions.
Yep. Because unfortunately, unless you're from Catharsis or, you know, have gotten actual good information, you're basically just going from hearsay. Because
Hey.
it's not a well-liked nation.
It's,
Turns out being at war with literally everyone else is not a good way to make friends.
let's get this over with, I guess.
Yep. So, you guys just walk up to the gates.
That's where I'm gonna go.
I'm wearing my sword. I was just gonna say that I'm wearing my sword kind of loose right now. Because Johnny's not at ease, is borderline assuming that he's gonna get. Yeah.
I'm gonna sneak a peek at the icicle.
Yep. It still seems to be about what it's been at for a while.
Do we want to plan for what to tell them what our purpose is?
We're looking for mages.
You think that's where they'll stop their questioning?
I mean, I was planning on just telling the truth.
Wealth beyond measure, awarded to the brave and the
We're looking for
foolhardy
mages
alike.
to find some dickhead who we think is gonna do a lot of stupid shit.
Got you.
Alright.
Walk up to gate.
Yep. Not very many people are attempting to enter the city. At this moment in time, or city, town. At this moment in time, it seems to just be a, like, single person along with their small retinue. Which is made up of, like, 4 people. One is obviously bodyguard. The other 3 seem to be more subservient. Whether or not they're servants or slaves, it's hard to tell. They're all kind of dressed kind of shabby, but, I mean, they're not sackcloth. Like, they count as cloth clothes. The, like, kind of semi-nobleman seems to be arguing with the head, well, at least whichever guard seems to be the head, as the guards are, well, there are like 12 of them in this tiny little settlement. About, you know, most of them are just kind of your ordinary guard, dressed up in a breastplate or like leather armor with a spear or crossbow, depending on whether or not they're down or up on the wall. Or I guess not crossbows in this case, it would be longbows, but or short bows. The remaining 4, 3 of which are obviously mages of some sort. One is obviously more of a wizard with a cloth robes, a big book, etc. The other two seem to be more along the lines of warlocks, with kind of lighter armor, an obvious weapon, and then of course, hands free, but otherwise fairly lightly armored. The guy he's talking to, of course, is kind of a mix of the two. He's armored, but you definitely see lots more arcane paraphernalia, like strewn on his body. And they are arguing very loudly. To give you the gist of the conversation, man really wants to come inside with basically everyone, and the guard is not having it. There's apparently some sort of ongoing problem with apparently some form of slave that the city is basically not allowing at the moment. That slave being the dogman, which there does happen to be one of those.
Very shifty eye.
Yep. It's a big dogman, not a little dogman.
Yeah, not the Barklings.
Kind in you rather than a. No, not Ka in you. Ka in you's the small one. Khan in you. But regardless. Yep. I mean, it looks pretty beaten down, but it's just kind of there, hanging out, waiting for this long conversation to end. And the guards do note you guys, but for the most part, they're just kind of like waving for you to stop.
Yeah, right.
So, how long are you guys willing to wait while this conversation goes onward?
I'll
Before
wait
you.
like 30 minutes before I interrupt.
30 minutes.
Well, it goes on for 30 minutes. While you
Holy.
hear the same argument go back and forth over
So-
and over again with different words.
I'd like to
These
wave
two
one of the
fight
other guards
over
over.
and over again.
Like, try and wave one of the other guards over, or if that doesn't work, just go up to one of the other guards.
Yeah, one of the more armored mages kind of walks up to you.
Is there any way we can enter without having to wait for this?
By the way, all three of the mage guards are sanguinels, along with, of course, their commander. The normal guards
Okay.
are kind of more mixed. And just kind of looks at you, and looks back. I mean, I would much rather this get on with, but I guess I can go through your questions now, if you're willing to wait. He just kind of looks back. Another 5 minutes or so.
Sure.
He just kind of waves his hand, and a quill appears in the air.
Fear consumes the mind.
Names, reasons for entering, current status.
Uwe Klein to find a wizard to help us with tracking someone. And what do you mean by status?
Well, are you freeman, owned, citizen,
Free.
from?
The colony.
He seems to be writing, but there is no paper. It's just kind of making marks in the air, though the marks don't actually stay. They just kind of, well, he's just writing in the air. Like, making the motions without anything actually appearing.
That's the Echo, that's Johnny, and that's Mo. And they all have the same reasons and status. Except they're from different places.
Johnny kicks you in the back of the shin.
The back of the shin? You mean the back of the leg?
Yeah, but like not very high up.
Grinds her teeth.
So, I mean, he does ask where precisely you're from.
I'm from
Uh,
Pontus.
Johnny is feeling pressed now that this question is being asked to lie and say 10 followers. So he's going to say 10 followers.
Alright. And what does Mo say?
Northern continent.
Yep.
A hand's breadth from becoming unwound.
I like how Lumpy gave this like
The
Johnny's
abyss
pressed lie, so he's
returns
gonna lie. And
even
Oyeko
the
just, I just
boldest
lied
gaze.
immediately.
Just ripped it.
Yep. Yep. The guard just kind of nods, flicks his fingers, and the quill just vanishes back to wherever it came from. All right. Just wait for another 5 minutes. He just kind of turns around.
Another
Make that
life
2 minutes.
wasted in the pursuit
You'll be allowed up to the commander around, well, around then.
Wonderful.
And he goes back and stands near, well, in his original position. The other guard, a female warlock of some sort, just kind of walks over. They kind of quietly discuss things. And in about 2 minutes, you see the guard captain lose his cool. And all of a sudden, the noble is no longer a problem as he's eviscerated from existence by a fairly small fireball.
ruin has come.
Fairly
to
small
our
as in only the guy is blown up.
Oh.
Everyone else in the area is perfectly fine, including the slaves and bodyguard. But the noble is no more. Just kind of, knocks the ash off of himself. And then turns to your group and kind of waves you forward. The slaves
Approach.
are all just kind of collected by the guards and brought inside. The bodyguard is, well, requested to either join or leave, and chooses to leave.
Approach.
He just kind of looks at you, his red eyes kind of boring into you. So, we've all given your reasons and names and all that jazz. Yes?
Yes.
Nod.
All right. I'll do it again.
Gouvet,
Alright.
defined wizard, free from the colony.
You have a wizard in mind, or are you just looking?
Looking to find somebody who can help us track someone.
Not a
No particular wizard in mind. No names.
Johnny Van
Have a
Barrett.
recommendation?
Oh, sorry.
He does
Yes, we
just
have a
cut you off,
recommendation.
Yanni. Yeah.
I mean, we were told to come here by a man named Havon in Twin Oaks.
Hmm. You got a piece of paper or any token to back that up?
Yeah, I've
I
got the note.
actually do.
We have the note from him specifically telling us.
Technically, the barkeeper's note is not from Halvan.
Yeah,
It's
I will
about
take out.
Halvan.
I'll take out the note that he
Yeah,
sent
true.
us
True.
and hand it
We
off.
have a paper trail of how we met him and
True.
Yep. He takes it. He looks at it carefully. Even pulls out a small eyepiece and just kind of seems to look it over very, very carefully. Like he takes a solid minute kind of scrutinizing it before handing it back to you. I don't know who this Halvan is, but apparently he's known. He recommends you come here, then you shan't be captured. At least by us. Welcome.
Thank you.
Kind of steps aside. The door is already like open, so
All right,
you can
enter.
just walk inside. And
Quick
Upon
question,
entering-
if you have time.
are you asking the guard captain?
yeah.
I mean, he looks down at you, seems to sneer, but
What
nods.
happens to slave things now?
Seeing as their master is. He just kind of looks at the small pile of ash that remains. Gone. I'll be reinstated to either another master or back into the system.
Are they purchasable?
His expression does soften slightly. Are
Press
you
this
interested in
advantage.
purchasing
Give them no
slaves?
quarter.
Of course it's possible. He just kind of yells for the others, and they do drag him back out. Did you want one of these in particular?
I am steadily becoming more agitated looking at Mo.
Yeah.
Big wolf guy.
Just kind of looks at you, looks at the big wolf guy. You a mage? You can handle him? Just kind of shrugs. One would be quite good. Yeah, I'm gonna say we'll give them to you for 30 gold pieces.
That's what, 3 platinum?
Mm-hmm.
And 3 platinum he gets.
Yep. He takes the coins without a blink.
Oops, I just gave myself. That's not how math works.
That's not how purchases work.
Yes, you give me the amount of money that I would have to pay for it, right?
It'd be
And-
interesting if a system worked instead of the amount of money you had, but instead the amount of debt you had. So the tokens were actually representative of debt. That could be an interesting.
There is a system kind of like that. Kind of. Not really. But
Sorry for interrupting.
Yep. But he nods, and then just kind of orders the rest of the men to hand the continue for you. The rest he does shuffle off and seems to be unwilling to move anywhere else in that particular direction. This is a special case. But, yep, you're let into the city with your new companion. Or slave, however you decide to treat it.
Here they're gonna be a slave. Elsewhere, probably gonna be a freedman.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, by the way, they probably can't tell. You can tell this one is a female Kaninu.
Kaninu or other one? I thought it was the
Yeah,
other one.
Ka-Inu and Kan-Inu. This one is a big
Okay.
Not
Is
a
a
bark.
dog.
This was just a bark.
dog man, not Barkley.
See bark, not a bork.
No, this one's actually a bork instead of a bark. It's bigger.
Yeah.
Is a bork bigger than a... I don't know.
Yeah, borks are bigger than a bark.
Tomo, is this
Yep.
a race war target then, or is
And
this...
then if it's an extra large dog, it's a boof.
Precision and power.
Yeah, so congratulations. You now have a Kan-Inu slave, or free person, however you wish to currently view them.
So is this a race war target, or is this a good man? How...
Kan-Inu and Ka-Inu get along. They are
Oh, okay.
basically, they're the
It's
same.
not like he bought a gnome. If he bought a gnome, this would be a race war target. Or wait, no, that's a halfling.
Yeah, halflings they don't get along.
Halfling is race war
Because
target.
halflings don't get along with them.
Oh,
But-
jeez, I'm back.
Yeah,
Jake.
stuff happened while you were away.
Oh boy.
We now have a slave.
Theo bought a slave.
Yeah.
Alright. Pick that fight later.
Mm-hmm. We'll
We
pick
will.
that fight outside of town.
Yeah, so they do look at you, Mo, but they don't say anything.
In this land here, I say nothing.
Mhm. They're pretty beaten down.
Walls close in.
It's hard to tell what they
Whisper
are.
of
I don't know if you were
conspiracy.
here, but for the Halvan note, it made it to where because Halvan is apparently known about here, this place will not try and fuck us over.
Oh.
At least, like, the government won't try and enslave us or anything. Was more or less what they said.
Allegedly.
Basically,
that is this
the
place.
way it works here is if you're potently magical, you're important.
Yeah.
And,
And we have the
Halvan-
backing of someone who's potently magical.
Yeah, Halvan is a potently magical man. or at least used
Yeah.
to be. So,
And
don't have to
since he's
mention
getting it
not
back,
anymore.
he will be again in theory.
Obliterated.
So, you guys entered the city, and it does not smell very good. Because, of course, the constant smell of blood is kind of ever present, apparently. You're not sure how you didn't smell it outside of the gates, but once you enter, it is just omnipresent. All the buildings seem to be made out of a mix of either stone, if they're kind of lower class, or iron, if they're higher. Where are you guys headed?
You didn't really tell us anywhere we might be able to find someone, huh?
Nope. That falls into the not my job description
Yeah.
category.
I guess look around for someplace that looks magical. That looks like a fucking wizard college or some shit.
What time of day is it again?
You guys would have reached here probably
The roots
around
of your enemy and of yourself will
around one-ish,
invariably lead to defeat.
most of the way through the day.
Okay.
So you guys still have a good like 5 or so hours before the sun goes down.
Then yeah. Then Johnny's on board with that, and then afterwards would be looking to get a room.
It seems like it's pretty quiet at the moment. Like
I
you
was
see
lord of this
plenty of
place
people, but it seems that the
before
workday is
crows
currently
and
over,
rats made it their
as
domain.
people are just kind of hanging out, discussing things on the steps. You see tons and tons of robes. Like, about every third person here is some sort of magic user from the looks of their clothing, if nothing else. Of course, the many people who are either cleaning their clothes or doing other minor magical feats are about as many. And of course, for those of you that can use magic, this place, like, you don't even need to be currently sensing magic. It's everywhere. Like, there's just kind of a low hum in the air of just magical power racing through everything.
Well, Yako is
And
the
of
most
course,
tense you've ever seen her.
explains. So, I guess a good question is, what counts as a mage's college in your head for this place?
Well, it's probably gonna be made out of iron
Gilded
because
icons
that's what the
and dogmatic
fucking
rituals.
higher up buildings are made
For
out of.
some, a tonic against the bloodshed.
And you said like everyone's wearing fucking robes?
One in every third.
One every third?
Yeah.
Continue in whatever direction increases that ratio.
We're looking for the greatest robe density.
Yeah. But if we want a rope density of near 1-to-1.
Yeah, we're gonna probe that concentration gradient until we find the area of most robe
So
to.
it seems like either heading toward the center of the city will do that. As you can see, kind of the main street, the number of robed people increases.
Mhm.
Also, to the east side of the city, it seems to also increase it, though at a lesser degree.
Wait, so to the east and to the what?
Toward the center and to the east side.
Center is probably gonna have more government buildings. East side, I think, is more likely. Oh, actually, center might also have magic building. The reason why I think east might have one is because
mind
having
that-
the magic building slightly
Oh,
outside of
yeah.
town.
Catharsis is a magocracy, so
Yeah, so
they'll have government buildings that are heavily magical because their government is heavily magical.
yeah, I say east because center is more likely to have government. I'm hoping that east is where the actual like mage college or wherever the hell it is because you want that towards the edge. So if something goes terribly wrong with your magic, it doesn't destroy the entire city.
Mhm. Well, I agree with that logic, but part of my brain is saying because they seem to value raw magical power so highly, like the most powerful mages might be the ones who run the city. And so in that case, we would want to be
I
looking
can
at the center.
guarantee that's how it works.
Yeah.
However, those mages are also most likely to go, no,
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're not helping you because we're too above that.
Yeah.
Right. Good point.
I'm not looking for the most powerful mages. I'm looking for someone who will help us.
True.
So, are you guys all following Guve, or are you kind of traveling on your own?
I'm following.
Definitely following. Wander on my own in the fucking worst place on earth? Absolutely not.
On Methstrom, yeah.
No, this is Earth now. This is also the worst place on Earth. That's
Method
not true.
is-
Detroit exists.
So, traveling east, you do in fact find a few buildings that seem to be more along the lines of mage schools. There also seem to be buildings that are. They're not factories, per se, but they definitely heavily remind you of that sort of building. But rather, of course, than pipes kind of running in and out of them, there are, well, pedestals and ritual circles and all sorts of other magic paraphernalia that seems to be kind of connected to the building. Some of which are currently in use.
I'm just
Which means,
gonna.
of course, the area that you're currently standing in is kind of filled with the screams of the dead and dying.
I'm gonna hit him with a out of sight, out of mind. I'm not gonna look that way. I'm gonna completely fucking tune it out.
Yep. So there seem to be 4 buildings that you probably assume are like schools at the very least. They're all made out of iron almost entirely. Although one of them is like entirely made out of iron. Its symbol kind of blatantly emblazoned on it, being a. Oh, I need to make sure I have this right. Oh, it's a fist, but I want to make sure I remember the entire symbol because I know it's more than that.
Johnny's more of a post-mortem guy, so this is definitely putting him on edge. If
Yeah, you
want-
don't like the the current mortem.
Yeah. Antemortem, not so much.
Yeah, you don't like mortem in progress.
No.
That would be the funniest fucking way that I've heard in a while to
Oh, sorry.
describe the process of dying. Mortem in process.
Yeah, so the biggest kind of most important one is it's a pair of hands crossed, one wrapped in a bandage and a closed fist, and the other one with an open palm that seems to be cut open. The other 3 seem to have basically different variations on that symbol. One only has the hand wrapped bandage, well, fist wrapped in a bandaged hand. Another has only the open palm. The third seems to be a face in anguish. Kind
Let's
of
go.
like what is it? It's not like a highly, accurate one, more kind of stickman-esque.
Oh, kind of like the like Greek tragedy masks. So like an anguish
more,
version of all those.
more along that line. Or the
Alright.
face from Project Zomboid for like great pain type of thing. That seems to be the 4 buildings that are like super high concentration of mages and, well, are probably schools of some sort.
I'm gonna go with the wrapped hand, like only the wrapped hand. I feel like that one has. I don't know. That one seems the least aggressive to me.
You were assaulted by 500 monks.
Okay. I'll kill them all. I'm built different.
As
Yep.
long as you're rolling at 20s on your Constitution saving throw.
Bold to assume they're all level 5 or higher.
So, yep, walking up to the building, you are stopped by one of the people kind of just milling around in front of the building. Like, it doesn't even look like a person who's, well, really all that important. They have on a
Alright.
pair of spectacles and they kind of look, well, they look like a nerd.
You know, fucking
Very
nerd. I break
thin
his
and
glasses.
gangly. Yeah. But he just holds up a hand. I would say, don't enter this building.
Why would you say that?
Because you are not a student here. Kind of sniffs.
maybe you can help me with this then. We're trying to look for someone who we can get to help us magically track someone. You know where we could look for that?
Well, not here at any rate.
Are
Then
you
where?
capable of such magic?
I am. But the left hand of the survivors school won't be able to find those.
Then who would be able to find those?
Kind of looks around and then waves a hand dismissively at the school with the kind of agonized face. Maybe the agonized face one. Those fools just kind of do other things. I haven't even
gonna
bothered to
insight.
learn what sort of stupid magic they learn.
I'm gonna insight see if he's just trying to give me the runaround currently.
Sure. I mean, it doesn't seem like he is,
All right.
but
thanks
you
for the
don't
help.
know if he knows or
I mean,
not.
while I'm here, I will also incite it, just because
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
not?
So you get about the same.
Fair enough.
Oh,
This
Yakko
guy
isn't gonna
doesn't seem to
insight.
be the best source of information, but he doesn't seem to be actively attempting to like screw with you.
Oh, Yakko doesn't roll insight here because she doesn't trust a word anyone says.
I'm just gonna turn and start walking over there then.
You just kind of hear him quietly, like
Thanks for the help.
behind you. Good. So, yep, you walk over there. The people over here seem to be kind of, well, at least a little more friendly in that they don't bother attempting to talk to you at all. Some of them seem to be like concentrating, some of them seem to be practicing with some form of purple magic. But most of them seem to just entirely ignore you.
The
Is
wizard over
purple
there said
divination?
he.
No, purple is not divination.
The wizard over there said everyone at his school was unable to perform a tracking spell. Surely someone over at this wonderful school can.
The
Sort of-
pathetic wizard over there.
Sort of
Okay.
pitted against each other. That might override their xenophobia a little bit.
I mean, are you just stating that out loud?
Oh no, that was more of a
Mm.
tactical suggestion for Geve.
No, we're not doing. Hey, do any of you guys know?
Let's
Actually, I'll just
start a
choose someone.
freaking battle royale.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fucking start a magic race war. Thank you.
No. I didn't mean like loudly. I meant like if we imply to these guys that the other school wasn't able to do it, they might be more willing to prove that they can.
Oh yeah, I actually was gonna say that those guys couldn't help us find someone. Can you guys?
I mean, are you just trying to poke someone into helping you, or are you trying to find someone who seems more actively attempting to look at other people? 'Cause,
I'll
I mean,
try
it's
and
still outside of the building.
grab someone who appears to seem at least slightly more attentive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, can you or someone in there help us find someone?
You grab a fairly, well, at least she appears fairly young, based on at least if Sanguinel's kind of age at the same rate. You'd assume she's probably a little younger than you are. She just kind of like turns around, just kind of fixes you with a death glare. I was practicing.
Well, if
What
you answer
do
the
you need
question, you can
help
get back
with?
to. Is there someone in there, or can you help us find someone? Magically, the people over there said that you might be able to. Someone over here might be able to.
She seems to break her concentration over whatever she's doing to the poor sod standing in a small pit behind her. And they just kind of seem to come to themselves a little bit and start to very steadily panic. No. I mean, one of the masters might be able to help you find someone. As long as you're actually thinking what I'm thinking you're thinking. I mean, I could actually find out, but I don't think I want to dig around in your head. You seem rather dull.
I'll say nothing, but I will raise an eyebrow. I'll say, so someone in there can help us.
Possible.
Shouldn't take too much digging.
With that, I will enter the college. Or I will enter the building.
Invitation accepted.
That's all I needed.
Stepping inside, it is fairly Spartan. In comparison, at least to outside, where the building is fairly well ornamented. I'm sure it's ornamented with iron, so it's not exactly pretty in comparison to, say, any other religious sort of stuff. But, I mean, it's still at least well made. In here, it's just blank stone. There are other doorways leading out, and before you're able to really move towards any of them, a old, very, very old human just kind of walks up to you.
Grievous
Do you wish to join the School of the Surviving Mind?
No, we're actually here to get help. Hire someone?
You're looking to hire one of our esteemed mages. What
Yeah.
are you seeking?
We need someone who can.
Monster's size has no
What was the way how I
intrinsic
described it? Put a
merit
tracking spell on him?
unless inordinate
basically.
sanguination
Yeah,
be
so we need someone to put a
considered
tracking
virtue.
spell on someone else so we can go kick the shit out of them.
Tracking spell, you say?
Mhm.
I might have the mage for you, but how much are you willing to pay?
So Johnny has 17 platinum, 30
I got
gold.
14 platinum.
A
I have
decisive
106
blade.
gold.
Like we got like fucking in the double digits of platinum that we were willing to pay.
Well, I suppose you can hope that should be enough. Come with me. Just kind of
Alright.
turns away and starts walking down one of the hallways.
Actually, didn't Halvan say he was going to pay for this personally?
Yep.
Okay, so we can send the bill to him.
Yeah, basically you can, whatever you spend here, Halvan will back.
But we have to front the money,
I mean,
and we get reimbursed.
doesn't
later.
have any money to hand you at this moment in time because you're halfway across the continent.
Fair enough.
He doesn't
Also got-
exactly have teleportation access at the
We've also
moment.
got a slave we could par with.
This is how
True.
life is taken.
We got a test subject we can barter.
Nope.
I wasn't asking.
Mo's saving this one for later.
We have 2 test subjects we can barter.
Before
After walking through the building, which definitely is bigger on the outside, or bigger on the inside. Outside.
Bigger on the outside.
Yeah, it functions normally,
So,
surprisingly.
bigger on the
You walk-
outside.
you
They're
walk
doing
into-
spatial fuckery, but in the wrong way.
You walk into the humongous
The
university.
building gets smaller as you enter.
It's a one-room classroom,
God, that's so fucking
one-room
funny.
school, one teacher. That's why they're
Make that
practicing
just to
outside.
fuck with people.
There's no space in there. That's why they're all
You build a
practicing
giant
outdoors.
castle and you walk in, it's just a single room.
Yeah, there was like, what? Why the fuck? Huh? Hello? It's like, well,
The rent is
I
for
mean-
a studio apartment.
I mean, did you see how much space was being wasted? I only use like 2 rooms a day anyway. Why? Why do I need the
Everyone
rest?
expects everything is smaller on the inside than it is on the outside. So I just flipped it. Screws the people's heads much more this way.
It's very funny.
Like the doctor gets inside the TARDIS and he like asphyxiates because he's trapped. It's so tight. My chest can't expand.
So,
Honestly, you do that just to fuck with people who have claustrophobia.
a powerful blow.
you guys walk through a number of hallways. Of course, you don't get lost in Gouvet, even though this is a magically, set up a number of hallways. You still can find your way out more.
It's fine. I got my own magic backing at this point.
And finally, you reach a single door. which just politely knocks
Great is
on
the
before
weapon that cuts on its
kind
own.
of stepping out of the way for you guys to enter.
All right.
I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna just like come all this way and stand outside the door awkwardly.
Yep.
Though every
Yourself.
I'm still Oyeko is still extremely tense and stiff.
Yes,
Mhm.
Johnny as well.
Well, who is going in first?
I think that's me.
Yes.
Just like,
I think it can be easily assumed that for the majority of this section, I'm going to be taking the lead.
All right.
I'm one who takes all the damage.
So you guys step inside and see a, well, red-skinned, tall
A
goblin,
slow death. Unforeseen.
aka hobgoblin.
Unforgiving.
They turn around and grin.
Oh,
you just throw weapons?
No.
I
This is-
shoot.
this is the worst of both worlds for Johnny.
Give them no
It's a
quarter.
goblin and it's a cather. It's just
No, it's not a goblin. It's a hobgoblin. There's a
Even
difference.
worse.
Victory's mount.
two
If
goblins.
it was a goblin, then this would have been going far worse.
I mean, are you guys? Who of you are pulling weapons, or is this a joke mode?
No, this is a joke.
It's a joke.
Not pulling weapons. If it was an actual goblin, maybe.
So he just kind of waves, and I mean, there really are exactly as many chairs as are required.
All right, sit down.
I don't say.
He sits down across a.
I'll sit.
I stand for sure.
So you can call me Bill. What do you need from me?
His name was available.
Yep. V-I-L. Yeah, Bill,
Uh,
like that.
we need you to put a tracking spell on someone so we can find them, and then kick the shit out of them.
And just kind of smile grows a little wider. Ah,
As the field
very good
falls,
use of a tracking
fingers
spell.
blossom.
My favorite kind, in fact.
If I was
Anything else
playing
is just
anyone
a
but Johnny
waste.
Vanguard, this guy would be the fucking dopest wizard.
I will say, him saying my favorite use puts Gouvet slightly at ease. Mostly because Gouvet's assuming it's a joke.
The wounds
So,
of war can be
What
healed.
do you know about this
But never
person? And do you have anything to latch on to?
I will take out the Silver Veil medallion. He was a Silver Veil. He was cursed by the moon recently. His name was Cook.
It was just a veil. They don't have any.
Or sorry, he was a Veil. Yeah, a Thalsian Veil.
Mhm.
Why say Silver Veil?
I don't know.
Right, because I was looking at Silver
Silver-
Veil medallion. I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, Silver Veil, easy.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't gotten a chance to latch magic onto one of them in a long time. He seems to kind of, well, grow even more happy than he already seemed before. I'll be glad to attach a tracking spell so you can go beat this one.
Destroy them all.
How much are you willing to pay for it to stick? After all, gold and favors tend to get the magic flowing even stronger.
I'll just draw fucking 14 platinum on the table.
Be wary.
I'll add 6 more.
Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
As a matter of fact, I'll add 11 more.
I'll put 50 gold into the mix.
I'll add 7 platinum.
But that's
A lot.
32 platinum and 50 gold?
Yeah. And you know what? He can also have this smaller moon amulet. Actually, no, I'm going to keep that. I'm going to attach it to my gun. I'm just going to keep attaching every amulet we get to the gun. That's what I've done to the rest of them so far.
Yep. He looks at the pile of coins. Just kind of taps on his chin. And moving a couple of fingers to tap kind of hard on his tusks.
A devastating blow.
Well, it's at least enough for a basic connection. But you must not want him that bad if that's all you bring.
How much would an advanced connection cost?
I would say he just kind of picks up some of the coins before clinking them back down. I'm trying to think, how much is it currently? It is, what, 370 or so gold
Yeah.
pieces?
Pretty much exactly that.
I would say about another 150 coins, and I'd be willing to latch on and
I will put 50 more gold down.
The wounds of war can be
I'm
healed.
pretty much out of money.
somehow have enough to
Never hidden.
give me 1,000. Well, he
How
can
much-
run all he wants. My little spell will never leave him.
How much for this? And I put on the table my spooky D8.
Kind of looks at it. Well, what is it?
I mean, it's just you hold it, and you can breathe underwater. Just a handy dandy.
Or ever?
As long as you hold it. Yeah.
Intriguing. Well, it's really something I can use, but that doesn't necessarily mean I can't give it
Well
to someone
struck.
else. Sure. He just kind of pushes the gold pieces back towards you, but does keep the platinum. We'll take the silver and this device. Latch one of my nastier dogs to its trail. We have a deal.
Size alone does not dissuade
Wait,
the
so he's taking
sharpened
what in that?
blade.
He's basically taking all the platinum and the
Remind
spooky
yourself
D8.
that overconfidence is a slow,
Yeah, that's fine.
insidious killer.
So he does reach across the table to shake whoever's probably yours, since you've been the one leading today.
Yeah, shake his hand.
And of course, you feel a very uncomfortable zap as his hand and yours kind of touch. But he keeps
Fight
holding
against
for a
every
minute.
instinct to pull it away.
Ambushed by foul
Yeah.
invention.
Well, he's like gripping onto your arm. Like he looks like he's going for a handshake and instead goes for the full, like, grabs your wrist.
Yeah. Well, no, this is. I don't think I'd be able to get away anyway. This is just fighting against the instinct to pull anyway.
Obliterated.
But after a few moments, he lets go. And then just kind of looks up in the air next to him and points one of his fingers at you. And as he does so, you, and only you, see a cloud of black mist appear before shaping into a small, well, imp-like creature is basically the easiest way to say it. It's a small humanoid with horns, though it does have a more dog-like appearance otherwise. Think of kind of a mix between a hellhound and an imp.
Alright.
This one will lead you right to him. Just keep it fed. Just kind of pauses for a moment, feeling thoughtful. Well, whatever you want, really. My little beasties can eat just about anything. I guess besides
Alright.
rocks. Thoughts, bad feelings, blood, pain, and of course, normal food.
eyebrow just keeps shooting up every time he mentions something new until normal food where it's like, okay, fuck. Thank God.
And he also likes sausages. Nice steak and cheese.
Feeds on bad feelings. Oh, don't worry, he'll be full of it for 2 minutes riding with us. There's enough hate in this fucking party you could cut
Dude.
it with a butter knife.
Dude, this is the second time that our hatred for one another benefits us in the
Yeah,
plot.
it's true.
Oh my god, we're
He
so...
holds up 3 fingers. It'll follow well for 3 months. After that, he kind of drops the 3 and holds up his other hand with 3 additional fingers.
Seize this momentum.
It'll follow
Push on
poorly
to
for another
task's
3 and then be done. After that, you'll have to come back and renew the bond.
6 months should be plenty.
Watch your step.
If it isn't, we have bigger problems.
Well, happy hunting.
Thank you, kindly.
Eradicated.
And, I guess fucking leave.
You say that to him?
Huh?
You say that to him?
You're making him leave.
That's true. I do. Yeah, fair. I guess fucking leave. He goes, what?
This is my office.
No, you go. The fuck?
After we head out, Johnny will hand Geve some soap for where he touched the goblin.
And my own soap.
So, you guys are shown back out by the same old human. And make it to the front.
I mean, I
Once
will
you
take,
leave
like,
the office, by the way, the strange dog imp does become visible to all of you,
Okay.
even if it just kind of hangs mostly around you.
Such infernal creature.
This is our hunting dog, I suppose.
It kind of grins. A very similar grin to the, well, its master.
Reeks of greenskin filth.
Yeah, well, you reek of normal filth, so let's just get going.
That's my throat. Yeah, let's just go.
Uh,
20?
Yeah.
Fuck. It is.
Sleep.
I mean, it seems like a pretty good place to end it.
Yeah.
Just got
That
I
that.
was thinking of ending it very soon anyway. So.
That was my assumption.
This expedition at least promises
You're really good at
success.
timing these, Mitchell.
Going way too long.
Hmm? Or you're good at tangent judo, where you can just toss us off the scent for a solid half hour. It's bad for time. If you're like, I don't know if we'll make it through 11.
See, my campaign, I don't even try to time the sessions. Because one, I never know when I actually am going to start. Because, you know, pre-session
Well,
talks.
kind of messes with my timing, but yeah.
And then you guys in particular, as a large group of players, oh my gosh. Some sessions, it's like, people are like, I'm like, do you guys have anything you want to do? And it's just like, nope, nope, nope. In other sessions, Leo's like, yeah, I'm just gonna go fuck around. I'm like, okay, Leo's fucking around. Other people are doing random shit. And now, next thing I know, it's been 3 hours and we're still in the city.
Yep.
But here's the thing, right? So for the
Calendar
city,
reads.
Calendar
it's
is very
because
easy.
while in the city,
Their cursed
everyone else does
champion
stuff, and then you're like, well, fuck.
Yeah,
I want to
it
do
is.
some stuff.
It is like a chain reaction. Like a couple people start doing
Yeah.
stuff, and other people are like, I want to do stuff. I
Yeah.
want to do stuff, and it's like, oh, here we go.
It's like, well, if I'm not doing, I have no reason in character to be with them.
Look at how much D&D they get to play. I could do that.
Yeah, pretty much, actually.
Yeah.
It's like,
I
look at
sometimes
them
get
playing
that feeling, but
D&D.
at the same time, Calendar does his own thing, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And I do try at least with Calendar.
vision. The
He has his ways of doing things. And while he doesn't do much, he does have his
A
moments.
singular strike.
Although
I
I'm
like
a bit
Calendar a
newer
lot.
to it, I'm a big fan of the, like, all right, well, I got shit to do, and just leaving the party and then just messaging the GM over the course of the session. Did that
Yeah.
for a bit last session, kind of sick.
Yeah, I
In
did
some
too.
ways, that's convenient. Lumpy, I'm working on what you found. What you found, by the way.
Oh, no worries. I figured it might take some time to plan that out.
Yeah.
Marina recreated the date that Vec had with Cathra on her own.
Clearly
Mm.
being. Or is it
That's so
merely
fucking
trick?
depressing. Oh my god.
It's so funny.
I was hoping someone would stumble across her while they were doing
I
other
was-
things.
I
but
was
no one-
hoping, because nobody went to where it was,
Yeah.
and nobody went onto the bridge either. I was hoping somebody was going there, because if that happened, I was gonna have roll perception and potentially see you.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That would have been so sick. Unfortunate that it didn't pan out, but
I know, it would have been so fucking funny.
Mm.
It would have been even funnier if like Vex.
yeah. Or Leo.
Oh god.
I was off, just getting fucking shit. I was like, hey, as I'm getting spells, I just got fucking sending, and sending you can do some funny shit with. So I did some
Yeah.
funny shit with sending.
Word.
I wonder if there is such a thing as an imp hound. That'd be interesting. I doubt it is, but maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, I've been working on a homebrew D&D setting off and on for a bit. I might decide to host like man, I really my DMing mindset does not jive with these big long campaigns. I tend to prefer like arcs.
Mm-hmm.
I might do a homebrew D&D arc where everyone sort of homebrews the class that they are. That might be fun.
Finish.
As much as I feel like that would be a nightmare, I also feel like that could be sick.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because I think it's totally doable, because the D&D classes are all pretty formulaic to a degree, where like different classes progress in like predictable ways. Or maybe not a fully homebrew class, maybe like a homebrew archetype. So that you could still be like, I'm a base fighter, but like these are the things I've cooked up for my subclass slots.
That could be neat.
Yeah. And then we might do like 2 months, aka 8 sessions, just like a short thing.
Yep.
Hmm?
Yeah, go sleep.
Nice, Leo, sleep loose.
Good,
I am all